That's loud. Wow. Turn the bed down a little bit, Daddy. Let the kid breathe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Rundown, only on HUDRadio.com, live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. BMW Atlantic City, we're off exit 37 on the Parkway. Find them online, BMW of AtlanticCity.com. Tom Arnone, Ralph Del Vecchio, Zach Burr, Frank Vespi on the ones and twos. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Rundown. We got tons of things to talk about today. Later on the show, Rhys Hoskins off to a hot start, 8 home runs in his first 15 games. This is why you bring the kids up. We'll talk about that later on in the show. Break down the Eagles' third preseason game. Take a look at the schedule. Discuss some expectations for the upcoming season. And inspired by former GM Scot McCloughan, we debate which young quarterback is the best in the NFL. Who would you want to start a franchise with? And we're 2 weeks away from the start of the NFL season, so we'll dive in all things NFL with a little Hoskins. With a little side of Rhys. And that's what we'll do today. Our poll question brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. Which young NFL quarterback would you pick to start a franchise with? Carson Wentz?
That's easy.
Derek Carr? Jameis Winston? Marcus Mariota? Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. HUD Radio is where you can find us. We'll be answering your questions as well. So, gentlemen, start with you, Mr. Burr. I mean, this man said it the best, but we'll still start with you, even though I completely agree with him. But go ahead. Who would you start your franchise with? Who's the best young quarterback in the NFL right this second?
As an Eagles fan, I mean, if you got to say Carson Wentz to this question, that's the answer. It's the obvious answer. His upside, what you hope it can be as an Eagles fan. He's a guy that can carry you, on his back, down the stretch, into the playoffs. He's got that type of mentality. You call it bulldog mentality, right? You like that term. I hear you use it a lot. He's that type of leader. I think that's why a guy like Alshon Jeffrey flocked here, and so far seems to be loving it here. Torrey Smith, last night after the game seemed to really enjoy what could be a good season offensively. I think he said there was an article he could show you on film. He could have 14 touchdowns or something like that last year. He could show you times on film where he should have had touchdowns and just didn't. This kid's is gonna be a special football player if you just give him time. And I think Eagles fans I'm a fan of all those guys on that list, but Carson has to be the answer if you're an Eagles fan.
Ralphie?
I think 100% it's Carson. I mean, he can extend plays. As you saw it last night, he almost got sacked and he threw the little dump off pass to Zach Ertz. That was beautiful. I mean, same thing as Zach's saying. I think you can put the pieces around Carson, and he's finally got weapons now. I mean, you saw last night with Torrey Smith getting down the field. You saw Alshon Jeffrey catching his first touchdown pass. Carson has, as Zach was saying, the bulldog mentality where he can put the team on his back and lead you to a winning season and hopefully even further for us to go.
Yeah, I've been starting leaning towards, who do I compare Carson Wentz to? Like, what does his game translate to in the NFL? What quarterback? What stud? And I keep falling back on Rodgers. Just some of the things he can do, the way he can extend plays in the pocket. And it all started last year in that first preseason game he got a chance to play in. And there was a little play where pressure again, had to move the pocket, and his ability to throw and a run. I mean, he threw about a 20-yard pass from the other hash, across field on the run to the out-of-bounds marker. And it was a strike. And the delivery, the way the ball came out of his hand was like, that's Rodgers-esque. That's things that Rodgers can do. They're the kind of throws only Rodgers can make. And I look at Wentz, and listen, I love every quarterback on this list, and I think any NFL fan should. And I look at Mariota. I'm a big Mariota guy. I love what Mariota can do. I love Jameis as a kid. I really do. Forget the crabs and all the other bullshit.
No, he's another one that has that type of mentality
leader.
We're talking
he's
about.
He's a leader,
with
James.
Carson.
And now he's got weapons around
People
him too.
flock to him. You could see that with the Hard Knocks this year if you've been paying attention to Hard Knocks. People flock to him. Teammates flock to him as the leader of that football team.
So we got a few coming in. Mike Cassidy, Mariota, Wentz, or Carr. I mean, I guess they're his favorite. He said huge Birds fans, but Mariota got that it factor. And Mariota does have an it factor, but again, he needs to be on the field too.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm worried about him with is the injury. I would actually take him fourth out of the guys on this list, and I like all four of them, but he would be the fourth guy I would take just because of those concerns. Yeah. He's played 2 full seasons, hadn't completed a full season yet. So
what was his first year? He He did something with his leg, right?
Well, yeah, he was a victim of a dirty hit
Yeah.
early on
And then
to the knee or
and then
whatever.
last year he did something with his knee.
He broke a leg, or didn't he break his fibula or tibia or something like that last year? So I mean, those are a couple pretty serious injuries.
Serious injuries. Now Mariota's another great kid. You know, I think when you
He
talk about
is.
all four of these quarterbacks, they're all great kids, and this is a new generation of quarterback. I mean, this is your quarterbacks for the next 10, 12, 15 years, whatever it may be. These are the four guys that I look to pass. You know, the torch gets passed on to from Brady, Roethlisberger's, Rodgers of the world down to these guys. And that's what I'm looking at. And, you know, Eli, who's won some rings, guys like that, passing it down. Breeze, all them guys. So I look at these guys as that next core group of QBs. So I would take any one of them. All of them are great kids, and all of them have leadership capabilities. Me, I'm going to be homerish and take Carson, but I love the things he can do. Joshua Evans chiming in. Get the ball out faster, though. Carson, stop holding it so long. So just something he's seen that he hasn't liked over the preseason. You know, and that's just timing. That's just starting to trust. I mean, he's got to trust his guys when they're open. But I think there is times where, you know, he gets the ball out quick, and there's other times where he's still a young quarterback. And Doug said it perfect, guys. It takes 5 years to master this offense when you talk about the West Coast offense as well.
Last year, maybe he had I think you could see that at times. He had a tendency to maybe hold on to the ball too long. But you talk about it, timing routes with receivers last year. I mean, it just was not.
Yeah.
It was hard. Besides Jordan Matthews and Zach Ertz, he was not in sync with anybody. Mm-hmm. And you know, you're gonna hold on to the ball, you know, a little bit longer when you don't trust those timing routes and you can't just get it out of your hand and trust your receiver to be where he's supposed to be and make a play. I think this year, I love the route that Alshon ran last night on the touchdown. You saw the zone that they ran, how he leaked. You know, he actually straightened out his route. You know, instead of flattening it out across the middle, he actually went upfield a little bit because that was the open space in the zone, and it was an easy, throwing window for Carson Wentz to hit. You know, Wentz steps up, makes a perfect throw, easy touchdown. That's the way it should look with a good quarterback and good receiver. We didn't have that last year.
Not at all.
So you didn't really see that. Too many times you saw a receiver not help Carson Wentz by flattening out his route when he shouldn't have or going upfield when he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Things like that happened too
passes.
often last year. So I agree. As that goes
the Jordan
on.
Matthews factor.
Yeah.
Contagious.
How about the fade that Matthews runs? That's a good example of that. That fade to the end zone in the the Bengals game that they could have won.
Yeah.
If Matthews turns his head the right way.
The Giants game.
The Giants game. If he turns his head the right way.
Wrong route.
Right. Well, he didn't turn the right way. I mean, you're running a fade to the corner. Turn your head, and catch the ball over your shoulder. I think as the year goes on, those things I'm not worried about because the timing's going to be there with guys like Alshon Jeffrey, and I think that's going to be a strength of Wentz by the end of the year.
Yeah, Frank.
And I'm taking a look at the YouTube comments as well. We have Sixers JT saying Jameis Winston. I like him because his style basically mirrors McNabb, but also says, but Wentz comes in a close second. Noah Ruth saying, as of now, Derek Carr. Although, as an Eagles fan, I am happy with our QB situation, but Carr is a proven quarterback in the National Football League.
Fair.
And just out of nowhere, Joe Tadaro saying, I heard by reports that it wouldn't be a shock if the Jags would cut Blake Bortles, but also report that the owner of the Jags likes Kaepernick. It would be surprised if Bortles is cut
earlier.
for Kaepernick.
Yeah. Well, I think the idea there is right.
I mean,
whoever the starter ends up being, they'll cut somebody else, and Kaepernick could end up being the backup.
And Chad Henne just got to go last night.
Yeah.
They get to go.
And then if Kaepernick's in there as the backup, obviously there's a chance he could end up playing because how long is Henne really going to last?
Yeah, well, how often can you overthrow guys in practice? And in practice, we're talking about practice. And how often can you overthrow guys where guys are getting pissed.
Yeah,
your number one wideout's getting pissed off at practice about you overthrowing them or about the ball you threw. And in practice, these guys respect themselves so much, and when you're just so tired of it, and that's what it looked like to me. Where he's sick of it.
Well,
you haven't gotten better. I'm out here working. I got better. Everybody on this football team's got better. We got a really good defense over here. And you can't even make NFL type throws.
Yeah.
And it continuously.
Professional athletes, no, right? I mean, like you as a professional athlete, you're in such an elite, 1% of athletes. You step on the field, you watch somebody play, you immediately know as a veteran, professional athlete in any sport, whether that guy has it. And that's in any sport. That's why you talk about last year, guys like Jason Peters and stuff like that, Malcolm Jenkins, Wentz, this kid, he's going to be a really special football player because they've been around the league. They know.
Yeah.
You just know when you see somebody whether or not he's got it. And I think that's what you see out there. These guys are professional. They know Bortles stinks.
Yeah.
Okay, they knew it year one. They didn't need to see 3 more years of it. You know, they had enough of it after 2 years ago. You know, so I think that it's frustration because they know it's just not a good situation, especially when you're talking about Allen Robinson as receiver being mad. Well, when you're a receiver, right, the last thing you can stand is a quarterback that can't get you the football.
Yeah.
You know, and I think at this point, he's known for a couple years. A guy like Bortles is holding him back as a receiver. I think they'll take anybody.
Holding coaches back too. I mean, that's how you get. That's how you get a ton of coaches fired.
That's how you get Doug Marrone as your head coach because you know they say Blake Bortles has to be the quarterback. You know.
A couple more. Mike Cassidy, huge Birds fan, but Mariota got the. We already talked about that one. Got the factor. Joshua Ennin, leadership equals Wentz, best arm equals Carr, best zone passer equals Mariota. And what's funny is Winston is a mixture of all them guys. I'll say I'll take Wentz just from his poise in the pocket, never afraid to step up and take those hits. He also goes on to say, Greg Milwaukevich now. Carr, Wentz, Mariota, Winston. That's a great group, though. I don't think there's a bad QB in the bunch, like we've spoken about that. Mike Cassidy, again, boys, wants your guys' opinions on Dak.
Of course, he'd
And
I was waiting for it to come up.
He hates the Cowboys, but
as you can see,
what's your opinion?
These answers were. It's not a coincidence that Dak isn't on this list. I wanted to, just drive that knife deeper into Cowboys fans, who can't stand. They can't stand anytime you bring up the fact that Wentz long term is going to be a better NFL quarterback. And I think anybody we brought up Scot McCloughan, the comments he just made.
I don't get this shadow, this glisten off my forehead anymore, Frank. That's what it is.
To turn that light off.
Well, I was noticing it last night.
There's a lot.
I get a glisten.
That chrome dome. It's easy for things to reflect off of it. So.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. But McLaughlin, listen, we understand. Anybody understands his backstory. We kind of covered it a little bit when he initially got fired by Washington. He's been, in multiple jobs and ended up either resigning
stupid move by the Redskins.
or being fired from all of them for reasons related to alcohol. But he helped build the 49ers Super Bowl team that went to the Super Bowl under Harbaugh. He drafted a lot of those guys. He was in Seattle and drafted a lot of those guys that now form the core of that Super Bowl team. And he did have a lot to do with getting the Redskins back to the playoffs, or at least back to, respectability, I guess you could say, back-to-back 9-7 seasons, and drafting a lot
respectability is the perfect word.
Exactly. They're not in the bottom of the NFL anymore. And he drafted a lot of the good young talent that's on that team. And now the guy, just like in between his gigs with San Francisco and Seattle, he's running a scouting service out of his house. So the guy seems to know talent. And NFL teams come to him for his advice on all of these, scouting services that he does and the players that he's looking at. So I trust this guy's opinion. I know there's jokes going out there about, is this guy drunk again? Clearly this is why he's an ex-GM. This guy knows talent, and the only people that want to believe that Dak Prescott's the better quarterback is Cowboys fans.
Well, yeah, and Jim Brannigan chiming in, who is a Cowboys fan, of course, says Dak. Ralphie, your thoughts on Dak? And before you say it, if you're just joining us, our poll question: which young NFL quarterback would you pick to start a franchise with? Wentz, Carr, Winston, Mariota. We didn't put Dak on this list, and this conversation is brought to you by the Soap Stash. Find them on the web, Soap Stash LLC. I'm sorry, soapstash.com. Find them on Facebook, Soap Stash LLC. The new soap standard. Ralphie, your opinions on Dak?
I think I wouldn't call Dak a good quarterback because I want to see what he can do without that line. I mean, that offensive line is tremendous.
I want to see what he does without Ezekiel Elliott for the first 6 games.
And it's going to come down to if he can step up and be that leader without Zeke, or does he need Zeke? But I think, can you start a team with Dak? Because I mean, I don't think he's got the leader mentality to lead your team deeper into the playoffs.
No, and I don't think he has.
He does.
I don't think he has the footwork. I mean, not the footwork. I don't think he has the. I don't think he's a good enough pocket passer to lead your franchise.
Is he a good enough pocket passer to lead your team? Because I mean, I didn't see it at any time last year with the pocket passing.
I think
unless he was throwing a deep ball, I didn't see it either. Right? I mean, I would see him being able to throw the deep ball to Dez, right?
Yeah,
he got a real nice deep ball, but. Besides like some intermediate stuff.
But he had
Dallas last year. We crushed him.
He had the most underneath passes out of any quarterback, though, in the NFL. I mean, he did have a few games where he was exposed. Here's my thing. I think you can win with Dak, in the right system. That's why he's perfect in Dallas right now. He's very protected out there. They've got a system that is based around their running game. Let's make this clear. Here's the big difference to all the Cowboys fans, the cockroaches that can't stand when we say this. Just understand, this is why it's being said by not only us, but by any of these respected football talent evaluators. Dak can't carry a team like Carson Wentz or Carr or Winston or any of these guys that we mentioned on this list. Jump on their back. They'll take you, to heights that you couldn't go without them. Yeah, you need talent around them, but when it comes down, like you mentioned Rodgers earlier, when it came down to them needing to play, something needed to happen in that playoff game last year, he went out and made one of the best throws you've ever seen a quarterback make into a small window, and his tight end making the catch on the sideline, because that's what quarterbacks of that caliber do. They can carry you to victory when you need them to. I don't think Dak, or at least Dak hasn't shown that he's capable of any of that. He needs Ezekiel Elliott. He needs that great running game. He needs the great offensive line. He needs Jason Witten, a Hall of Fame tight end. He needs Des Bryant on the outside. Carson Wentz threw the ball 607 times as a rookie because that's what we needed him to do. And in a lot of those 7 wins, Carson Wentz carried us, at different points in those football games pretty much without a lot of help, especially on the offensive end. I mean, the Ravens game comes to mind, him driving down the field. He ran for the winning touchdown, Wentz put that team on his back at times last year, even as a rookie, and won us football games. I expect that to get, more and more and more of that as we go forward in his career.
A couple more, a lot more chiming in. We'll get to some of the other ones unrelated to this. But Joshua Onion, I hope I got that right, was talking about, Doug needing, 3 years. That, he hears about axing them if they go 8-8 and this kind and this and this and that and a third. But he needs the full 3 years. It's good for Carson for him to be here for the full 3 years and get that opportunity. I completely agree with that. We'll get back to it in a minute.
I like that. I'm not opposed to somebody else calling plays. I like everything about Doug except the play calling at times. But there's more to being a head coach than play calling.
Yeah, and listen, that can be Frank Reich down the road too. Zach Smith chiming in. It's 1,000% Carr at this time. He's the only one who is both young enough and proven. Wentz, Mariota, and Winston are right there, but they've accomplished nothing to this point, and that's a fair assessment when you're talking about Derek Carr. Yeah, and but also has had weapons from day one too. Like 3 of them have had weapons for the most part since day one. Well, no, not Mariota. So 2 out of.
Yeah, Carson.
2 out of 4.
Carson and Mariota just got their weapons this year.
Yeah, now Mariota got a run game last year. Had a really good run game, with 2 big backs, physical backs. Yeah. And when you talk about Henry and the great DeMarco Murray.
And Carr probably has, at least when you look at those 4 teams, Jack Del Rio's had a lot of success in this league as a head coach, taking teams to the playoffs before. Mike Mularkey's the head coach in Tennessee, and Dirk Cutter's the guy in Tampa. Yeah. Doug's obviously here. Carr's, he came into his system underneath an experienced head coach where I think they had a plan on what they wanted to do from the very beginning. Whereas you see in some of these other situations, you're just kind of getting an idea of what these teams want to do to build around their franchise quarterback. He came into a situation. He had Crabtree there. They signed him there, right? Then they drafted Amari Cooper. There was a lot of things in play. Then they've got guys like Khalil Mack defensively that were going to be big-time playmakers.
Guys there he's had help around from the beginning. And listen, now Wentz does. So now you expect them things out of Wentz right away.
I like our coaching staff, top to bottom. Like I really like our coaching staff. Reich is the offensive coordinator. Groh is our wide receivers coach. I think Deuce one day is going to be an offensive coordinator in this league, possibly even a head coach.
Maybe.
John DeFilippo's got a lot of respect around the league. There's people that think he could be a head coach one day. Jim Schwartz, obviously, and his resume. I really like our coaching staff all the way around. So that really excites me. I think we could have all the way around the best coaching staff in the NFC East.
Well, speaking of the NFC and the NFC East, we got 2 more comments. We got William Whitsett saying, "Is it crazy to think the Eagles can win the NFC?" And he also says,
NFC?
The NFC.
NFC or the NFC East, I'm not sure.
The East not crazy.
The East,
East not crazy. NFC, yes.
No, I think they win the East. I'm sorry.
I think they win the East.
Right. My expectations are for them to win the East now.
But he also says that he is taking Carson all day. It's not even close.
Yeah, I think the Eagles win the East easily this year. I think the Cowboys take a big step back.
Yeah,
the
I think it's
Redskins are
possible.
just a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
And then the Giants with
I mean, the only team
Odell
that's
Beckham, who
probably-
God forbid if there wasn't a camera around him.
Yeah.
You see that? Odell Beckham.
Yeah,
hurt
I
his
saw the
ankle and
injury.
then-
The Giants have way too much I mean, I get it's the New York area, and I guess that comes with it. I mean, but there always seems to be such a circus going on.
I know.
The only time there wasn't is when Coughlin was there, and that's because he just doesn't really
Right.
there's not going to be a circus when Tom Coughlin's in town. But other than that, I guess McAdoo's a decent head coach. I mean, they obviously they haven't been terrible on them. They've had some success, but it's just a circus.
It is.
Who's running shit there? Is McAdoo running things, or do the players run things?
I don't even know.
LeVar Ball came to town.
I
It's
don't
your boy.
I mean, listen, if Tom Coughlin's still the head coach, does Odell Beckham go to a party boat a week before a playoff game? That's all I'm saying.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? That shit, if
Right.
you're a head coach that's in control of your football team, your star wide receiver's not on a party boat a week before your biggest football game of the
Ben
year.
McAdoo gets a job because he was around Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy. I mean,
Right.
it's really that simple. That's the whole Aaron Rodgers effect. That's kind of effect that I believe Carson Wentz can have.
Oh,
Okay, on everybody that's around him as well. That's why I put him at the top of this list. That's why I believe he's at the top of this list. Even though Carr's accomplished more and right now has done more as a young guy too, I'm putting Wentz there because I think he's got the it factor that we look at and say guys have to need to have if you're going to be, especially at the quarterback position, and how much a quarterback can take your team from being to the next level like Rodgers has done in
Absolutely.
Green Bay,
Yeah.
right? And there was no Favre left, boom, Rodgers in, and it was nothing.
Right.
Nothing changes, but McCarthy and McAdoo, these guys stay places
Oh, yeah.
for a long time. There's the Holmgren effect and other things when you have that great quarterback. And that's what McAdoo is. And what has he done for Eli? I mean, nothing. His
Nothing
interceptions
really.
going up. I mean, things are going up. He hasn't been able to protect them. Never got him a running game.
Right.
Same shit that goes on in
always
Green
been.
Bay. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Green Bay didn't have no running game. They can't pass. They're not a great pass protecting team. Rodgers got to move around all the time. So
Yep.
same stuff. What else did you have?
I mean, I'm also looking in the comments as well. Sixers JT mentioned, look at the trend in Winston and Mariota's rookie seasons. They had losing records. The next season, they both had great seasons, almost made the playoffs. He thinks that Wentz follows that trend, considering Wentz had a losing record in his rookie season, like Winston and Mariota.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's accurate. You can look at trends like that, and that's why I say, and you agree. I know we've had this conversation about Dak taking a step back this year. There's no way Dak repeats the rookie year that he had. You
Right.
don't have another year, backing up just
It's
an
very
insane
slim.
rookie year like
It's
that. There's
very
no
slim.
chance of that. He's gonna come back down to earth. He'll probably have a good year, but he's gonna come back down to earth and have more of an expected year instead of
The old sophomore slump.
Right, instead of what these Cowboys fans think. These Cowboys fans look at his rookie year and get all bent out of shape. It's how could you say any of these guys are better than that when you look at what he did his
Let me
rookie
stop
year?
you. They have
It's
blind loyalty because they don't watch.
Well, of
okay,
course.
you know what I mean.
Of course.
It's one thing to call say Eagles fans, right? That you have
They're not
blind loyalty.
intelligent.
Okay, but you can say blind loyalty, but then at least I'm watching my blind loyalty. When I talk about a lot of Cowboys fans, they don't even watch their blind loyalty.
No. But they're not intelligent football fans.
They're
not.
blind
No,
loyalty and they
hell
don't watch.
no.
That's why it's called blind loyalty for them.
I will say this about.
And if they didn't have Zeke, they lost that Pittsburgh game. They lost a couple more games than they won.
I'm
last year
interested
because of one
to
person.
see what they're like, what they look like offensively the first 6 games of the year without Zeke. I think they could really struggle out the blocks. They don't have it's not like they have an easy schedule. The first
Yeah,
6
they
games.
don't.
They've got a pretty tough schedule. But I'll say this about Doug earlier because somebody had talked about giving him 3 years. When you look at Jason Garrett in Dallas, I like Doug more than Jason Garrett. But Jason Garrett for years was that guy that went 8-8, 8-8, 7-9 with probably better talent than an 8-8 team. They probably underachieved with the talent they had. Then all of a sudden they put some assistants around him, right? And they got guys like Scott Linehan that have been former NFL head coaches. Who's the defensive coordinator? Was also the former NFL head coach. It's now been there for a few years. They've got a great group of assistants that now surround Jason Garrett.
I know who you're talking about.
And all of a sudden, They go and they win the NFC East. They put together a 13-3 season. That's why I brought up our coaching staff. Top to bottom, I like our coaching staff, and that can really help, a young, inexperienced head coach when you give him a bunch of good assistants like that. That's why I like the idea of bringing Groen to be the wide receivers coach. It looks like it's made an instant difference.
Well,
when you
talent
look at,
also makes it look like it's an instant difference as well.
well, you
That's not. I mean, it's facts.
But you've
It's
got
facts.
you've got
It's facts.
slight
Hold
hope
on,
now
hold on.
out of Aguilar.
Well, it's the same thing when I talk about. Listen, any NFL head coach is only as good as what's on his roster. It's only as good as what's on his roster. Okay, there's some guys that might be able to get a little bit more out of nothing. Okay, but Belichick's Belichick because of Brady. Yeah. Okay, Belichick wasn't a genius in freaking Cleveland. He wasn't a genius in Cleveland.
Too.
Yeah, but my point is he wasn't a genius in Cleveland. It took getting the quarterback, become a genius, right? Was Holmgren a genius? Was Holmgren a genius when he went to Seattle for a minute? No, he was just a guy, right? Because he didn't have a goddamn quarterback. Because he didn't have Brett Favre. He had He had Hasselback for a minute. Okay, they went to the playoffs one year.
They went to the Super Bowl.
Okay, but
made multiple playoff appearances. But yeah, I mean, he didn't have Brett Favre.
But my point is, a lot of these guys, if you don't have a quarterback, and he had talent on that roster,
I agree
if
with
they
that.
went that far, them Holmgren teams in Seattle, then
that's
so
why
big.
I talked about the talent that was on that Cowboys team. When you looked, you had Romo and guys like that. They shouldn't have been an 8-8 team. Jason Garrett's underachieving. You put assistants around him, all of a sudden that same talent, they win the division all of a sudden. I like Doug more than Jason Garrett. I'm just saying now that you've put talent on this team with the group of assistants that are here.
It's going to make Doug better, the assistants better. It's a trickle-down effect from top to bottom when you add talent on a football team.
Every great franchise,
CM looks smarter. Right?
Every
Howie
great franchise,
looks smarter.
You look at the Steelers, doesn't matter who their head coach has ever been. They've always got a great group of assistants around them, too, right? Tomlin comes in there. There's a great group of assistants there with him. Cowher was there. There was always great assistants. Every great franchise, that seems to be the trend. It doesn't matter, how long they've been successful. You could have 4 different head coaches going back 20, 30 years. Yeah. That seems to be the Steelers have done it that way. That's the trend. They have great coaching staffs.
Well, we got to wrap up here on the Facebook side. We're going to shift everything over to YouTube. A2D Radio is where you can find us over there. Come join the boys, right? We'll finish talking everything else. We'll have a little Rhys Hoskins later. Obviously, the start of the NFL season, we'll dive into that. Continue the best QB talk. When you talk about young QBs, which one are you going to start a franchise with? We'll continue that one and break down everything in the Eagles preseason game 3, the dress rehearsal that was last night, and has it changed any of your expectations? All that much more on the rundown. We get back on the other side. This segment was brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com. We'll be right back. Head over to YouTube.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Welcome back to RunDown, A2DRadio.com. Talking young quarterbacks throughout the NFL and which one you would start your franchise with. We were all in agreement that it's Carson Wentz, but of course as Eagles fans, probably just a little bit biased, right, Ralph?
Yeah.
Maybe just a little bit?
Pick Carson, whatever. Be Homer.
A little bit homerish?
Yeah.
But obviously, not really that much. I mean, there might be some fans out there that would say we are, but Scot McCloughan, former NFL GM that's built a lot of really good football teams.
Yeah.
And
I think he's the best in the business as a GM.
Well, as a talent evaluator, yeah, he's. I mean, and I there was another tweet. I mean, obviously Adam Schefter had him on his podcast, and that's why we're talking about this. Adam Schefter had McLaughlin on his podcast. McLaughlin made the comments he would take Wentz over any young quarterback in the NFL. Kind of actually said, I read the transcript of the interview, kind of said some things that we said similar, because obviously Dak was talked about on that podcast as well. And he said, well, there's a big difference. You know, Dak's got a great offensive line. He's got a great running game. He's got a Hall of Fame tight end. There's things that are put in place that, that system doesn't go through Dak. That system goes through Ezekiel Elliott, their strong running game.
It runs through him.
He averaged, his yards per pass attempt was shorter than any, he had the least amount of yards per pass attempt out of any quarterback last year. He's limited. I think you can win with him. Seahawks won with Russell Wilson. Joe Flacco's limited in some ways, but in other ways he's, a franchise quarterback and you can win with him.
Yeah.
Dak's probably a franchise quarterback, but in this conversation, I just think it's clear to most talent guys, Carson Wentz is that guy.
Oh, 100% I think he's the guy. Out of that, the whole group, I mean, nothing to take away from Winston, Mariota, or Carr. I think Carson has all the tools. Like I said it before, I think Carson is the most. He's going to improve more. I think in my mind, I don't want to be more homerish than what's on this list, but I think he's going to improve better than Winston. He's going to be better than Mariota at the end of their careers. I mean, Carson's got it all. I mean, he really does, and you can build a team around Carson. Have we seen anything from Mariota that we don't like? I mean, I don't like Mariota's game.
I wish
is
he was
pretty
10
good.
pounds heavier.
Yeah.
You know, I wish. Right now, that seems
It's
to be
just
his big issue.
The fact is that you can't stay healthy.
And that
I
seems to be
mean,
his big issue. It
His
just,
first year, he got hit with the dirty hit. You can't take anything away from that. That dirty hit doesn't to come into play. I think the Titans win.
but he looks
win
like
that
he's,
division.
about 210 pounds. And he's
Yeah.
6'4", 210. I mean, he's a slight guy.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's such a freaky athlete. And, I think as long as he's healthy, he'll play well. But will you ever get, if he only has 5 seasons throughout his career where he plays a full season or something like that, what do what
Is
is
it
the
time
full
to move
value
on
you
from
ever
him?
get? Well, do you ever get the full value out of the guy that you possibly could have? Andrew Luck's kind of, in danger of going
He's
down the
almost
same
there.
path
Yeah.
in Indianapolis. If he's on the field, he'll be, a phenomenal talent, but now he's got the shoulder injury with the surgery. They don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1. All these things, if this guy continues to get banged up,
Blake Bortles.
are you ever going to get the full value out of him? Well, no, he'll never be. Blake Bortles just flat out stinks. We're talking about guys that can actually play, but there's other things that go into you not getting the full value out of a guy. There's Carson Palmer's a guy that had all the talent in the world, but after that knee injury in Cincinnati, you never got the full value out of him again.
And he was just throwing the ball too, and he tore his ACL, right?
Well, yeah, he got hit with a low hit to the knee while trying to make a throw downfield, but he had a passer rating over 100 that year. He threw 30, 2 touchdowns or whatever. I mean, he was just on the verge of breaking into that top 5 quarterback conversation in the NFL at that time. And with Chad Johnson still as your wide receivers, I mean, they could have been a deep playoff team. He's had some good years.
T.J. Houshmandzadeh there.
T.J. Houshmandzadeh.
Wow.
They've
That
they
was
had
a long time ago.
T.J. Houshmama.
Houshmama.
How about they were teammates at Cincinnati and they were teammates at Oregon State.
Oh, jeez.
Chad Johnson and T.J. Houshmandzadeh.
T.J. Houshmandzadeh.
Name that coach. Who'd they play for at Oregon State?
Oh, I know who you're
no
talking.
idea.
I know who it is, but I don't remember. Oh,
No idea.
what's his
It's
name?
Dennis Erickson.
That's what.
Dennis Erickson's coached
Dennis
everywhere.
Erickson.
Dennis Erickson's coached everywhere. Coached at Miami and won national championships.
Man.
Coached in the NFL.
Jeez.
Multiple stops. Coached at Oregon State. Coached at Arizona State, didn't he? Or Arizona? One of the two?
I think it was Arizona State, Dennis Erickson.
Yeah, Arizona State he coached at. Yeah, I mean,
He's been everywhere.
he's been a lot of
Yeah.
places. Before that, even he was at Montana or something, or Idaho.
Yeah, he
Jesus.
started as a graduate assistant at Montana State.
And then he was the head coach at Montana State or something, wasn't he?
He did not.
Where was the
Idaho.
head coach of? Idaho, yeah. Did big things at Idaho. Isn't he the head coach there again?
Yep, a second time.
Yeah, he's the head coach there. And the guy just is what he does for you. He just coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's like
Yes.
a pee-wee football coach. Just
some guys just
when
coach.
football season comes around, he just coaches.
Oh, wow.
At the football season, he takes time off.
Yeah, the other thing with Mariota right now is, listen, Malarkey might work out there as the head coach in Tennessee. It might sound crazy to people, but the guy had 1 year in Buffalo where he went 7-9 as the head coach. Didn't get another chance till he was the guy. He had, I think, 1 year where he was the interim guy in Jacksonville, but you can't really, everybody sucked in Jacksonville. They set him up for failure.
Except for Jack Del Rio.
Yeah, but he was the head coach right after Del Rio. They went 2-14 when they were trying to tank,
Yeah.
and then they got the top pick and got Bortles or whatever. And he ended up and took over the Tennessee job halfway through a year for Wisenhunt, and they've been really good. They've been competitive ever since. So who knows? But I just at some point I would think they're going to get a head coach in there that they feel like they have a future with. I just feel like Malarkey's probably their stopgap until they get to that guy that they really like.
Yeah, and the same thing with Winston. And the crazy thing is with all 3 quarterbacks, Winston and Evans came in the league at the same time, or was
Evans was already there.
Evans was the year
he
before.
He was.
Evans
When
really
I-
helped Mike Glennon have a good rookie year,
Yeah.
didn't he?
Or
Or was Evans not there?
Evans was there.
There, Glennon threw 19 touchdowns and
Yeah.
9 interceptions his rookie
Yeah.
year. Mike Glennon,
and half of them
Mike
were to Mike
Glennon.
Evans.
probably, yeah. The same Mike Glennon. He made
He's
his
not a starting quarterback. for
yeah,
the
well,
Bears.
and he made his NFL debut against the Eagles. Made his starting
Yeah,
debut against
That's
us.
right.
Dude, that dude is
Replacing
lanky.
Josh Freeman.
He is lanky.
He's got a giraffe neck.
Yeah.
Dude, he is 6'7" and 7/8 or some crazy shit.
Yeah, he's
And he
pretty tall.
he can't be more than 220 pounds. He's a lanky
How is he
dude.
not good? He's 6'7". See
Too
over
tall.
Everything.
Well, Brock Osweiler stinks too.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, you see him.
But I think they have two different issues.
Brock Osweiler's
I think if you
terrible.
gave Brock Osweiler Mike Glennon's head, Mike Glennon's football brain, he'd be a damn good player. I think Mike Glennon is just limited from an athletic perspective. He doesn't have to. How are you 6'7" and don't have a big, strong arm? Like, how are you 6'7" and don't have a bigger arm? You know what I mean? How do you have a noodle arm? He's
it's like
6'7" with a noodle arm.
It's like a 6'7" basketball player who can't dunk.
It's like Tim Henderson. We used to have a teacher at Doan Academy that was like 6'6".
Henderson.
He was this like 6'6", like
Yeah.
redheaded Irish guy.
Yeah.
And we had this faculty like student basketball game the
God.
one time. Like you're 6'6". Like
It's Doan Academy. Nobody dunked at that
was he
time.
in corduroys or something? Like I can't remember what the hell the dude was wearing.
He-
But like I mean, when I mean like my man couldn't like I thought like you could get off the ground a little bit. Like he couldn't even touch the rim.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
At 6'6", like bro, jump and touch the rim. Like I know you're an English teacher, but holy hell!
Yeah, it's
like
a
if I was
6'7" basketball
6'6",
player who can't dunk.
if I was 6'6", I'd at least be able to touch the rim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like you can't even like touch the rim. Like
lucky
oh
if I
god,
can
that's
even touch the
embarrassing. Oh, embarrassment.
Mike Lennon making
No, but yeah, I
stupid
mean-
money out there in Chicago.
Brock Osweiler's problem, I think, is he's just Brock Osweiler's an idiot.
Yeah.
Have you listened to this guy? Did this guy really he went to Arizona State, which I hate to break it to you, Frank. You know all about Arizona State.
It's a party
It's
school,
not
baby.
the most educated of universities.
It's a party school, baby.
I mean, it is a party school. I mean,
A huge party school.
It
too.
is.
they
it's one
do
of the
care
top
about
party
their
schools in the
they
nation.
do care about their athletics, but oh my goodness,
do they?
it's yeah.
Yeah, sure they do, but I mean, it's the University of Arizona is a better educational
Oh, yeah.
institution than Arizona State.
If I had a choice, if I ever had the choice to go to Arizona or Arizona State,
Have you-
I'd take Arizona over
Well, of
the Sun
course.
Devils.
But I mean, like he went to Arizona State, and like, have you seen? Like, I don't know if pull up a picture of Brock Osweiler from Arizona State, and you'll see why this dude's like the guy reminds me of
He needs like a 12-pack just to get himself going.
no, but he's the guy that like walks around like, oh gee, golly man, like, oh what's up, man? Like,
Yeah.
he's that idiot. You know what I mean? Just like, dude, like you are such a fucking douchebag. Like, what are you an idiot? Like, Arizona State picture. No, not that one.
Well, it's an Arizona State
Yeah,
photo.
well, I
You
know.
you weren't specific.
No, you gotta with his hair. Where's his hair? There we go. That's the one I'm looking for.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, like, come on.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that
like, what
photo.
is this guy?
Yeah,
You know, is this
yeah,
guy?
yeah,
Like, are we
yeah.
for real? With the hair, like, this guy, he looks like he looks like he's more concerned with boning cheerleaders than he is studying anything.
But I mean, it is Arizona State.
He's studying cheerleaders. That's why he went
Yeah.
there. He's at least got arm talent. Like, you watch Osweiler
You
and
thought I was doing my English paper.
you thought I was in
I thought
English class.
Yeah, I'm studying anatomy with the cheerleaders.
Yeah,
so-
exactly. I was at a different anatomy class.
Yeah.
I believe in a hands-on education.
Yes. Very
No, I mean,
interactive.
he's at least got a big arm. Like you watch Osweiler, he's got a big, strong arm. Like he's a good athlete. You watch Osweiler, you see a good athlete.
Right.
You watch Glennon, and you see a lanky giraffe. You're like, what is this dude? Like he looks like the guy. Like he bounces up and down when he walks. Like that. Like we all know those clumsy dudes. Like Glennon looks like he takes a 3-step and he's bouncing up and down as he does it. Like it's super. It's like it's Nick Foles-esque. That's what I'll compare it to. Like, remember Nick Foles used to do that here. It just looks awkward. You're like, that's not smooth. There's nothing smooth about that. He's not.
Stop hopping around. In
He
the
lacks the athletic ability. Osweiler doesn't lack the athletic ability. He just lacks the head. $1 million arm and a 10-cent brain.
I tell you this, he stole money from the Texans.
Good for them.
He stole that.
They were smart enough to move on.
Yeah. And they got their quarterback of the future in Deshaun Watson. So
Probably.
he's been having a good preseason.
I still think Tom Savage starts the year as their quarterback, and if they win with him, Watson
yeah,
might
it's
not
possible. Yeah.
Well, I think Tom Savage should start.
He's at least
should
deserved his
start.
chance
Yeah.
to start. I mean, he's been, he's been in that system for longer than any other quarterback there.
The locker room has swarmed to him as the leader.
That's what I heard in the preseason game I watched, is that the locker room apparently likes Savage. They flock to Savage as they at this moment he's the leader of that football team. Bill O'Brien probably likes him. I mean, when you look at some of the college systems that Savage played at, he played under Greg Schiano at Rutgers. He's been well coached in a lot of ways. So I think O'Brien, probably likes that. He came from a system with Schiano, and then he was in Pittsburgh with Not sure if it was Paul Chryst or who it was, but Pittsburgh's always had a reputation of good head coaches.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Chryst now at Wisconsin after leaving Pittsburgh.
Larry Winstead.
Yeah, Dave Wannstedt, right?
Dave Wannstedt. I don't know why I call him Larry. He looks like a Larry. I don't know why.
Dave Wannstedt looks like a Larry, apparently.
He looks like a Larry.
So, he's been well coached. Bill O'Brien probably likes that. See, I can just imagine a guy like Brock Osweiler, driving Bill O'Brien crazy. With that, dude, you are such a fucking idiot. I can imagine him just wanting to jump across the table in, quarterback meetings and shit.
Well, what quarterback Christian Hackenberg got kicked out of practice because he didn't break down
can't
the huddle.
break a huddle.
Yeah. Christian
Wow.
Hackenberg.
Jeez.
Yeah, did you hear about that?
What a
You
free
didn't hear
fall
that?
he's having.
Well, see, that was the unfortunate part about that was, he played under 2 years of James Franklin.
Yeah.
And,
after playing with Bill O'Brien, then, everybody's like, oh, Hackenberg is going to be, the first quarterback taken in the 2016 draft.
Well, if he would have played 2 more years under Bill O'Brien, he might have been.
Oh, yeah, he might have been. And then,
he just might have been.
And then played under the Franklin spread offense, which he absolutely hated. So then that begins the free fall to where many people thought, oh, he might not get drafted because he's not doing great. But now,
the Penn State fans loved him.
Now he's just a blip in history of basically he's probably going to be remembered as that Penn State guy and the
he'll be a quarterback's coach somewhere in a few years.
Yeah, he'll be a coach, but
Bill O'Brien will have him on his staff.
Yeah, he'll be a clipboard holder.
Yeah.
No, a guy like that's probably not a bad he probably wouldn't be a bad coach.
He wouldn't be a bad coach.
Guys like that usually are good coaches.
Yeah, the quarterbacks who suck come out to be great coaches.
So. Mike Glennon will probably be a good quarterback coach one day.
Right.
Because he lacked the athletic ability, but he's just, he's got the football mind. Brock Osweiler's not going to be ever coaching quarterbacks anywhere ever.
No.
I don't think so.
He's not a guy that has a coaching career after his football. You see the difference?
He's not
See the
difference guy.
Yeah, I would never have Brock Osweiler coach my team.
I would never.
Or
I'm
even
not
my
going to touch.
quarterbacks.
No, I'm just saying, mindset-wise. You see the difference?
He'll never
they
coach
stink
my
for two
team
different
or
reasons.
be my quarterback
They both
coach.
stole money, but they
Anyway.
stink for two different reasons.
Does Trubisky start this year?
Yes.
I think he starts.
He might start opening night, or he might start week 1.
What was the point of throwing Glennon that money?
Because they didn't.
Honestly.
First of all, they didn't think they were going to trade up for Trubisky, but you definitely didn't think that he was going to be ready week 1.
Right.
And Glennon. I mean, like I said, Glennon threw 19 touchdowns, 9 interceptions his rookie year, and then lost his job immediately to Jameis Winston. So you probably look at it, or I think he lost it to Josh McCown before that, because Lovie Smith came in there.
He did.
And
McCown
and he lost
got
it to
it,
Josh
and then-
McCown.
and that's when they
Which,
drafted Jameis
listen,
Winston.
if I'm Mike Glenn, that's a little bit of a slap in the face. I just
Right.
came off a 19 touchdown, 9 interception rookie year,
To
and
get
you replaced me with
benched
Josh McCown,
Journeyman Josh McCown.
And then
the
Josh
dude that
Mc-
doesn't
and-
like porn.
And guess where Josh McCown is? He's with the Jets now.
Yeah.
The sorry-ass Jets.
Jeez.
Don't be surprised if they go 1-15 or 0-16.
They're not going 0-16.
I think they could go 0-16.
They're not going 0-16.
This is a team that's probably going to be one of the worst of all time.
I got- they're not
Probably
gonna go
beats
0-16.
the 2008 Lions and what else?
Listen, they're going to beat the Bills at least once because the
They'll
Bills
probably-
are on the same strategy.
The
The
Bills,
Bills are
gonna
on the same.
tank.
Let's see how bad we
The
can.
Bills
suck.
are going to tank. The Jags might tank, depending on the situation with Blake Bortles.
The Jags might play Brandon Allen at quarterback. That's
Oh,
how crazy
God.
that situation might get.
Or
He actually
Chad
looked good in
Henne.
preseason. Did you see the preseason game 2 weeks ago?
I did not.
Brandon Allen actually looked pretty decent.
Tank and go get Sam. Sammy boy.
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater. They'll go get Teddy Bridgewater at the end of the year.
Bridgewater, Kaepernick.
Bridgewater
is
might
the
end up
name
available
mentioned.
at some point at the end of the year.
Depending
That's
on how
a damn
Sammy Sleeves
shame,
works.
because the Vikings were right
Yeah,
there.
they
They
were.
were right there.
But then, injuries, even with Bridgewater, just everything that could have went wrong for the Vikings, it went wrong.
And last year they were a Super Bowl favorite before Teddy Bridgewater got hurt.
Yeah. Or
They
at
had,
least
they had
a
everything.
threat,
They
yeah.
had the great offensive line. They had weapons on the offensive side. Their defense was amazing.
Yeah.
Top 5 defense in the league. And then Bridgewater gets hurt. And then halfway through the season they were 5-0. We beat them, and then they just crumbled.
How about this
Yeah.
for an interesting stat, though? Because we were having this quarterback conversation, and we keep talking about Derek Carr. And listen, I like Derek Carr. A lot of people really like Derek Carr. He's a good quarterback. He's obviously going to be, he's probably going to be an elite quarterback pretty soon here in the NFL. But one little red flag stat from a year ago. You know who had the fewest yards per attempt out of any quarterback in the NFL last year?
No.
We already mentioned one of them earlier. I mean, Dak was in the top 3. Derek Carr was second. Sam Bradford had fewest yards per attempt out of any quarterback. Derek Carr was second, 0.1 behind Sam Bradford. I believe Bradford averaged 6 yards per attempt. Derek Carr averaged 6.1 yards per attempt. So now, listen, Carr can throw the ball down the field, obviously. It just seems like maybe that was a little bit more by design, or, a little bit that's just the way it went or whatever. They also had a lot of drops, Oakland. They were like second in the NFL in drops from guys like Crabtree and shit. But it was a little bit of an interesting stat my buddy Levon Nelson brought up to me. He contributes to 4th and John and stuff. I've brought up some of his stuff, multiple times. So it was something that we and him were having a conversation. He pointed out, and I looked into it. It is interesting. Bradford, obviously, we know why Bradford averaged 6 yards per attempt. It's because he can't throw the ball down the field.
Right.
He's not going to complete a 60-yard pass down the field.
Freaking noodle arm.
He does. He looks like a noodle arm. Cross-eyed noodle arm.
That's how he throws. He crosses his eyes. And
He
does
looks,
this weird thing with his lips.
He looks like the most awkward. Like his sleeves are just like it's like we call him Sammy Sleeve, but it is like
Sam, are you looking at me?
He is the most he's the most like unathletic. Like Glennon looks like a giraffe, but somehow even that looks better than Sam Bradford. Like
I don't know how you would describe Sam Bradford.
Even Nick Foles looked better than Brad. Like Nick Foles looked more smooth.
No, you know what Sam Bradford
did you ever
is?
watch Bradford with the Eagles?
Sam Bradford's helmet is like that kid that's
It is
playing,
way too big.
That's like
It
the
is.
kid that's playing Pee Wee football. He's got his
they
helmet's
look like
too big
they
for
look
him.
like bobbleheads.
Yeah. His helmet's too big for his
Yeah,
head.
none of the pads fit
around.
him correctly.
Yeah,
He's
I
not
think
built like a
that's
football player.
That is what Sam Bradford is, a
It-
first-time
it-
Pee Wee player.
It reminds me of the movie Lucas. If you guys have seen the movie, it's like this scrawny kid. I think it was like I forgot who was in it, but it's just like this scrawny kid who wants to play football just to impress a girl, and he looks so out of place. He has like the helmet that can't fit him. He's like he can't have the pads on, but at the end of the movie, everybody stands for Lucas because he got injured, and unlike Sam Bradford, nobody gives him a standing ovation.
Oh,
so.
no. Hell no.
I will say this. The same buddy I just mentioned also compares Carr to Bradford a ton. He likes Sam Bradford, and he said Carr's not much better. That's why he averaged 6.1 yards per attempt, 0.1 yards more than Bradford. That's insane. Derek Carr is to use that stat and say that he's not much better than Sam Bradford is a little bit insane.
It's those little short passes, man. Brady's been doing it. Brady, if you watch any of the Patriots games from last season, Brady hits you over and
but Brady
over
also hits those throws down the seam and shit like that.
That's the point. That's the point. He'll hit you with those short passes all game long, and then once the defense thinks, okay, well, here comes a short pass, Brady throws a streak down the middle of the field to Gronk for a first down. So, Derek Carr, like you said, what was he, third?
He was
in
second.
the league?
He was
second.
It was Bradford had 6 yards per attempt, then Carr had like 6.1, and Prescott maybe had like 6.3 or something.
That's Sam, dude. That's Sam Bradford.
Little Giants?
Yeah, from the Little Giants.
From the Little Giants.
Frank, you know the Little Giants movie?
Yeah.
With the kid with the glasses and his helmet can't fit him?
Yeah.
That's Sam Bradford. That's Sam Bradford.
Remember those big blow-up helmets they used to like when you go to the carnival or something like that?
Or like
fair?
Or when like the balloon guy like makes you a
the
football
balloon helmets. Like those big blow-up helmets that like you could stick a pin in them and they deflate, the inflated helmets. And you could get them like in each like football team, whatever football. Like you ever like put one of those on?
And it's too big for
those
you,
inflated football helmets that are like these giant things. It's like the thumb or the finger, the foam finger.
Yeah.
But it's like it's the inflatable football helmet. That's what it looks like to me.
Oh god.
When he wears a helmet.
It's too big for him. It's like Sam.
Jeez.
Gotta get a smaller helmet, dude. Maybe that's why he can't throw the ball down the field.
He's too damn big.
Because as soon as he starts moving, the helmet starts moving everywhere, so you only can see half of the field. Oh man, Sam Bradford can't throw the ball down the field. And he's got a new arm.
See, it's something like this. That's that's what it looks like. That.
That's Bradford's helmet.
That's Sam Bradford's helmet.
Sam Bradford's
That's
helmet.
his helmet right there.
Yeah.
We gotta show the camera that.
I don't know if it's possible, but
Yeah,
I'm not gonna flash a picture on there because
it's like
Sam Bradford's new helmet.
Sam Bradford.
That's what his helmet looks
We
like.
gotta make that into a meme, man.
No,
Yeah.
hold up before some jabronis decide to steal it and
Yeah,
and take it
we
as
got to be
theirs.
careful.
Yeah, be careful of those jabronis.
Yeah, it does
Ooh.
remind you of the helmet that they run out of, the inflatable helmet that they run out of at the tunnel at the beginning of the game.
Oh.
It does remind you of that at times.
Sam Bradford's new helmet.
Yeah, but that's
Right.
that's funny.
That's insane.
But yeah, there, the
Oh,
one that you
yeah.
actually put on. Yeah, that one is
Yeah.
that's exactly what it looks like. You would think he's wearing an inflatable helmet.
I could like Photoshop Sammy Sleeves' head in there. It can work.
Yeah, we got to do it. We got to Photoshop his head into the
All right.
inflatable helmet.
Yeah, that's possible. Anything's possible in this world.
Anything's possible.
Kevin Garnett.
You two, Jesus. Why don't you two get a room?
No.
Me and Frank are like best friends.
Yeah.
You're gonna be even better friends once you guys are working together consistently.
I know, dude. Why you gotta leave us like this?
Yeah.
I'm
Tell-
sorry.
You're gonna tell the people what's
You,
going
you
on?
asshole.
Oh, well, the people
Why are you
already
leaving
know.
us?
Nah, tell
No,
the
you got- you-
people.
And then we'll save it for the sappy
I
series
mean,
finale.
I'm gonna be contributing in other ways once I'm in Florida. It doesn't matter that I'm.
Oh,
not
you're
doing
joining
this
the
show anymore.
jabronis on the other pages.
I'm gonna bring Eagles fans. I'm gonna bring A2D radio fans from Florida. We're gonna have a new fan following.
Hopefully.
We're gonna invade Florida, the Tampa area.
Oh. Well, I don't
Do
think
we
that-
play Tampa down there this year?
No.
Do we
No.
play Jacksonville?
No.
No.
Jesus.
I think next year we play Jacksonville.
Oh, who wants to go to Jacksonville? I drove through Jacksonville.
I
Oh,
know,
my
it's
God.
awful.
Is it?
Spent 5 minutes in Jacksonville. I was like, oh, please.
Yeah.
Get me the hell out of here.
Awful.
Is there a hurricane scheduled for this weekend? Like,
Yes, in
Like,
Texas.
is there a hurricane? No, I was like, when I was driving
Oh.
through there, it was like a Friday. I was like, is there a hurricane scheduled for this weekend? It was a Saturday morning or whatever.
Now when?
Oh.
Now hurricane season's when down in Florida?
Year round,
Anytime.
like is
It's
it
pretty much
August through
year-round.
November, June through November, whatever. But I'm gonna be in Lakeland. I'm gonna be more in the middle of the state. I don't have to worry about these hurricanes.
Well, you're going to be like right in the path, but
Well,
You'll get it.
if I die, I die. Okay.
Whatever.
We'll have a special tribute show dedicated to me right
now-
here on A2D
so
Radio.
we're gonna invite all the people. Like we'll have everybody sing like a parody of "We Are the World" or something.
Yeah.
We'll have a Stevie Wonder on piano. It'll be a
Stevie
fantastic
Wonder.
time.
How are you going to get Stevie Wonder on the piano?
I mean,
Throw him some Monopoly.
Throw-
We're
money.
not
him
going to
some
need
money.
Stevie Wonder.
you know, we'll steal some jabroni money and give it to them. Like we'll play some big bets. Go
By
to
the way,
Vegas.
bets. Are you putting any bets down for tomorrow?
I was.
Because McGregor's gonna wax that ass
Yeah,
tomorrow.
sure he is.
He's
I
gonna-
was
Dude,
intrigued.
I'm telling you, dude.
I was intrigued by the idea that a draw is 25-1 odds.
Really?
Which that's better odds. There's
that's
better
not
odds
bad.
for there to be a draw than there was for Buster Douglas to beat Mike Tyson back in the day.
Yeah.
Buster Douglas is a 40-1 underdog.
Yeah.
There's a 25-1 chance that there's a draw. So there's a better chance of that happening than there was of Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson, and that happened. So
Might as well do it.
put it this way: if you would have put $100 on the 40-1 odds, if you would have put $100 on Buster Douglas back in the day, you would have made $4,000 just on that bet.
Man.
So you put $100 on a 25-1 odd that there could be a draw. If there ends up being a draw, I laugh my way all the way to the bank for $2,500.
That would be crazy to see.
I'm not putting the bet on it. The fight's tomorrow. I can't
Yeah.
bet at this point. It'd be way
You
too
can
late.
you can still bet.
Yeah, it's too busy going on in Vegas. I wouldn't be able to get through and
You'll get
make my
through.
bet happen. Maybe I'll call a special somebody who talks about football season being come up season, and
Yeah.
he apparently makes money on these
Yeah.
on these types of things,
Yeah, and probably even
and likes
like,
to steal other people's ideas and content.
yeah, and also buying trademarks and and claiming that they're also going to Vegas and hosting a Madden tournament.
Interesting.
Yeah, don't know who those jabronis are, but apparently they're doing it.
These jabronis.
These jabronis.
What is your name, little jabroni? It doesn't matter what your name is.
What was I going to look up?
I don't know. What were you going to look
It
up,
was.
Frank?
I think it was the McGregor.
I'm looking up the Eagles season
I was looking up the McGregor
because we were
going to
run it down.
But can we do it after break?
Do you want to do it after break?
Let's do it
that
after
sounds good.
break.
Yeah.
Let's do it after break.
All right,
So.
Take us to freaking break.
All right. I'm getting tired because now I'm thinking about the jabronis and it's pissing me off.
It's pissing you off?
Yeah.
It's your show, and it's my show. It's your show. It's not your show.
It's not.
It's
not
my
it's
show.
Not my
Don't
show.
give Frank the keys.
I know, Jesus.
Because we might be suspended.
It's my show,
God
and you're over
damn.
here talking about. You're over here coming up with catchphrases. Who is jabroni the word that gets thrown around the fix?
No.
Have we stole that from The Rock and officially thrown it around the Philly Sports Fix?
Well, it's become like public. I mean, everybody's saying jabroni now.
It's like you got public access to that word.
I don't know.
A bunch of jabrones.
I don't see a trademark
Tom
on
says jabrones. You can't steal his shit.
it. Well,
He calls people jabrones. What are you stealing it?
no, I'm not stealing it.
You're
Unlike
over here-
other people.
You're over here talking about trademark infringement, and you're guilty of
Yeah.
it yourself, Mr. Vespi.
I'm gonna look that up if jabroni's even trademarked.
Well, Tom says it, so I mean, you can't, stop stealing his shit.
Well,
Yeah, you
he's got other people stealing our shit
freaking
anyways.
thief.
We'll be back on the Rundown, A2DRadio.com, brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill. Give them a call at 856-889-3434. Visit their website, scanzanosports.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Welcome back to the Rundown, A2DRadio.com. Talking Eagles. A lot of football talk going on with the NFL season just a couple weeks away. Frank, you got that YouTube page up over there? We got any more comments from any of our listeners?
Let me check real quick. All right. So some of the names that we got, Sixers JT chiming in, saying, I'm starting to think we cut Pumphrey and keep Clement or put Pumphrey on the practice squad.
Pumphrey? Who's Pumphrey? Who is that guy?
Donnell's porn name. I don't know. Or put Pumphrey on the practice squad. What do you guys think? And then William Whitsett says, what have Carr accomplished? How many playoffs win he have? I can answer that. Big fat 0. And then he also says, call me crazy.
That guy's clearly intelligent. You know, he's...
Call me crazy. I honestly think we can win the NFC. Pro Football Focus rank our OL number 1 and DL3. The only team that scares me is the Packers if they get home field advantage.
Our offensive line is not the top offensive line in football. I mean, that's just ridiculous. It's a good offensive line. Our front seven might be the best front seven in football.
And what happens when you have a good front seven? Your secondary becomes even better.
And Ronald Darby, what Ronald Darby does is he gives Jim Schwartz the ability to be able to blitz a little bit more because you can put Darby on an island at times. I know people didn't like the fact he got burnt by a double move yesterday. Listen, Kenny Stills burns a lot of people with all types of routes. And the fact that he's only getting paid $8 million, like think about this: we gave Torrey Smith $5 million. Was there any way we could have possibly signed both Alshon and Kenny Stills? If Kenny Stills is only making $3 million more per year than Torrey Smith,
I would have liked it.
I mean, I would have cut a Jason Kelsey to sign a Kenny Stills.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Now, do you think the Eagles cut LeGarrette Blount?
No. And yeah, that's ridiculous thinking. There's people that want. I see people.
NJ.com
I know you're one of these people.
Yeah.
That,
Matt Lombardo. Everybody, I thought it was like an ESPN article. I saw that. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Some article that ESPN. Nope, Matt Lombardo. Surprise.
Well, you're one of these guys that really likes Corey Clement. The problem with Clement and him making the roster is that would mean you would have to carry 5 running backs, and they're not going to carry 5 running backs. Because who are you cutting? Who are you going to cut?
Corey Clement has been the best running back out of this whole entire group for the past 3 weeks of the preseason.
But you're getting ahead of yourself. He's not played with any of the starters. He has not played against other teams' starting defenses. Yes, he's looked good in the time that he's played. But you can't just take it. He went undrafted for a reason. You can't just sign the kid, and because he's looked good against a bunch of backups in the preseason, cut a guy like LeGarrette Blount or Wendell Smallwood.
No, I'm not saying I don't.
So who do you cut? Because if you want to keep Clement on the roster, you got to cut one of the other running backs. You're either going to have to cut Sproles, Blount, Pumphrey, or Smallwood.
Well, I think Sproles should have been out of here anyway after last year. With that whole rumor that he might be retiring.
Well, he's going to retire after this year.
And he's got the family problem. So I think
he's still. I mean,
I think you should have cut him last year.
He's still going to help you. Is Donnell Pumphrey's not ready to fill in and play that role that they want him to play?
Then you put him on the practice
but you
squad.
can't do that. He would have to. Somebody else could claim him. He would have to clear through waivers or whatever the hell the process is. Like other teams would have a shot at him. If you decided that he wasn't going to make your 70-man roster or whatever the hell it is,
53.
53-man roster, excuse me. And you were going to put him on your practice squad. He would have to pass through. It's not called waivers, but whatever the system is called.
Yeah.
Other teams would have a chance to sign him.
Once you put him on your practice squad, any team
He's
in the
not
NFL,
protected.
Yeah, can pick him up.
Correct. And if you're telling me that, like, who has a better chance of passing through and going to the practice squad without getting claimed by another team, Clement or Pumphrey? I think it's probably Clement. He was undrafted for a reason.
Yeah.
Just because he looked good in your system, very few teams are going to look at what he did against a bunch of backups in our system and be like, he'll do the same thing in our system. Now, they might take a look at a guy who was a fourth-round pick and Pumphrey and say, hey, we really like this kid in the draft too. Now we've got a shot at him because he didn't make their active roster. I don't want to do anything. You want to keep Clement on your practice squad, that's fine. You've got a better chance of him passing through and being on your practice squad than Pumphrey. That's all I'm saying is, yeah, he's looked good. I'm not cutting him out right. I'll put him on my practice squad and take my chances of somebody claiming him. Nobody claimed Bryce Treggs and guys like that last year, right?
Yeah.
Somebody got claimed, though. We sent somebody to our practice squad, and they got claimed.
Well, I remember that Treggs was originally the 49ers guy, and then we picked him up off of waivers.
We picked him up off their practice squad.
Yeah, we picked him up off of their practice
who's
squad.
Paul Turner was on our practice squad.
Paul Turner, yep.
And nobody, claimed him, even though he looked good last year in the preseason. Remember? There's another name. Compared perfectly to Clement, right? Turner looked so good. Oh, Paul Turner. People wanted him to start in the goddamn slot. People wanted to cut Aguilar and start Paul Turner.
Well, at least he can catch the ball.
Yeah, but this is why I brought up my point earlier of now a good coaching staff. Mike Groh's a guy that's been a lot of places and had success with every wide receiver he's ever been with. He was a wide receivers coach at Alabama, if I remember correctly. He was on the Nick Saban staff. Nick Saban does not hire bad assistants.
Yeah,
If you worked under Nick Saban, Frank, why does it look like you're about to suck dick over there? What is going on?
I'm just screwing around with
Why
the
does it look like
bets
you
on-
just smelled some serious just terrible BO?
Because I saw some.
That's the face you make when you smell a fart,
Yeah.
mid-sentence. You're like, oh, who did that?
Nah, I'm just screwing around with the betting stuff online.
Screwing around.
with the bet slips. Online.
Your dad's a big sports bettor, isn't he?
He is.
So are you going to look into sports betting over here? I'm telling you, put $100 on that 33-1 draw line.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And then you split that $3,300 with me when you nail it. Is that a bad payday for both of us?
That's a great payday. That's a great payday.
We'll split it.
And I want 2%.
You're not getting
2%?
shit. I'm the one that gave him the tip.
Well, my dad.
Now, you
and
think
I,
McGregor's going to win. You don't get nothing.
Well, my dad and I
McGregor
are,
is gonna win.
Okay, so go put $100 on his fucking 15-1 odds or whatever.
We're
I'll
trying
put
to do
I'll
something
put
with college
500
football
10
and
to
all
1
that.
odds, whatever.
I'll put 500 down.
Boxing is one of the dumbest things ever to bet on because of how corrupt it can be.
Oh yeah.
Pacquiao.
Like the Pacquiao-Horn fight, Horn just gets his ass whipped. I almost said Jeff Horn. Was that his? That was the former NFL wide receiver, wasn't it? Or no, that was
it's
Joe
Horn.
Horn. Jeff Horn was the fighter from Australia.
I think so.
Yeah, it's Joe Horn.
He got his ass kicked.
Jeff Horn. Yeah.
He got his ass kicked for all 12 rounds of that fight. They nearly stopped the fight in the 9th round because Pacquiao was whipping his ass so bad, and he still wins the fight on the decision. That's what I'm saying. If this fight goes 12 rounds, McGregor could get his ass kicked for the entire 12 rounds, and the judges could just sit here and be like, wow, we're so impressed at McGregor and the heart that he showed and the fact that he made it 12 rounds with Mayweather. Let's give him this moral victory. I don't think they would do that to Mayweather because Mayweather's undefeated. That's what I'm saying. If there's any type of conspiracy theory, it's going to be a draw.
Yeah.
They'll look at it and be like, oh, he lasted 12 rounds with Mayweather. Who would have thought that would have happened? And we're all like, yeah, Mayweather whipped his ass for 12 rounds. This is an easy win, and they give it a draw. They scored the Canelo Alvarez fight a draw, the one judge, remember?
Yeah.
The one judge scored the Mayweather-Canelo Alvarez fight a draw, even though we whipped that ass for 12 rounds. So, that could happen.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, if we're going conspiracy, everybody's got a conspiracy theory. Everybody thinks
Right.
McGregor's
What's
going to lock in a side Russian, arm lock or whatever.
Yeah.
I say McGregor just hits him with a roundhouse and
No,
Round two.
Mayweather could sue him for everything he's worth if that happens.
Yeah.
Dana White actually talked about it earlier. There's no way McGregor could do that. Not only would he
no
lose
way.
the fight and lose the entire purse of $80 million that he would win, he could get sued for damages by Mayweather for everything he's currently worth.
whatever.
And McGregor cares way too much about his money,
Oh yeah.
as we've seen now over the past couple years for him to do something like that.
Yeah.
He'd rather just get his ass kicked for 12 rounds.
Make 80 mil.
And then just go and lie to, oh, no, I really won that fight. Oh, everybody that watched, oh, no, I actually won that fight. Like, he'd go and lie to everybody, in the media. That's my poor Irish accent. I know. That's my poor Irish accent.
Oh, my God.
Well, I hit the takeover. And I won that fight.
No, laddie.
I won that fight.
Terrible idea, laddie.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not much better. That's more Scottish.
I know.
I'm trying to be Finley from the WWE.
Finley? Oh, my God.
Hornswoggle.
Yes.
Ugh.
And the shillelagh.
The shillelagh.
Used to hit people with that shillelagh.
Yeah.
It used to be so
you got
awesome.
the shillelagh.
Used to keep it underneath the turnbuckle.
Yeah. You got shillelaghs and a midget hiding underneath the mat. And then that
Sounds like Ireland, to be honest. That sounds like Ireland.
It is.
Sounds like something you'd see in Ireland. Shillelaghs and a bunch of midgets.
and a bunch of drunks.
Bunch of Irish drunken midgets.
And Bono. Don't forget Bono.
Oh, okay. And Conor McGregor.
And McGregor.
And those 3 guys we met in Vegas.
They're from Northern Ireland.
So is Finley. And so is McGregor, technically, I believe.
McGregor?
He's from Belfast, isn't he?
I think so.
I know he flies under the let me figure
He might
that
be
out.
from Dublin.
He's probably a Dubliner. He's a Dubliner. Yep.
Is he?
Yeah. Yeah, he would never if he was coming out of Northern Ireland, he would have a different flag, but he has the Irish flag with him, so.
The fact that McGregor he talked about laying him out and within 3 rounds. McGregor,
It's possible.
McGregor knows
It
he's
is
going to get
possible.
absolutely annihilated.
No.
He knows
No.
he's going to get so messed up in this
You watch
fight.
too much First Take.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Skip Bailey, you watch too much First Take.
He's not even on the show.
I know he's
anymore.
not, but Skip is all about.
Undisputed with
Skip is all about.
Well, it's better than First Take.
Max Kellerman's a complete tool. That guy.
I know.
Oh. And he covers boxing.
Yeah.
He's going to be at the fight.
He's like the main guy.
Like the other jabronis that are going to be at the fight.
He's the Joe Rogan
Yeah.
of boxing. He is. Dude, I'm telling you, man. Don't be surprised if McGregor comes out throwing some haymakers.
He can throw whatever he wants. He could throw the kitchen sink at Mayweather with him. He'd still miss.
No.
And the kitchen sink would still win.
He could throw the kitchen sink at Mayweather. He'd throw whatever he wants at Mayweather. It's one thing to throw punches at Mayweather. It's another thing to land punches on Mayweather. He could talk about his left hand being whatever. He's not the hardest. Canelo Alvarez hits harder than he does. Marcus Maidana hits harder than he does. These established boxers, a few of them that Mayweather's faced, hit harder than McGregor does. Even Malinagi's backed this up. He said, yeah, he can hit hard. He's got good power, but it's not like it's, oh, my God, look out for that left hand. And then if you saw the sparring video, yeah, he's got a nice left hand. He doesn't follow it up with anything. You can't just hit McGregor with a left, or can't just hit Mayweather with a left hand and then not follow it up.
You're going to watch tomorrow night, dude.
Yeah, I'm not.
Where are you watching the fight at?
I'm going to probably watch it at my house and steal it illegally on the internet.
That's great.
Lovely. Way to broadcast that to everyone.
Dare the FCC to come stop me.
Oh, no.
You hear me, FCC?
I gotta do that
Don't
to
make me
yourself.
break out in song like I'm Seth MacFarlane
Oh.
and Family Guy.
Why you gotta do that?
Don't
to
make me
yourself?
call Peter Griffin, damn it.
Jesus.
I might go to a bar and
Frank,
pay
where
like
you
the
gonna watch
$5
it?
cover fee
Well, Buffalo Wild Wings, it's $20 to get in.
Yeah,
and watch the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we might go there. Brandy
It's-
loves
it's-
Buffalo
it's
Wild
like
Wings.
Chickies and Pete's also doing it as well
Yeah.
over in South Philly.
Problem is, Chickies and Pete's in Mount Holly might be doing it too, right up on 130 near me.
Oh, in Bordentown?
In Bordentown, yeah, Mount Holly. Yeah, Bordentown.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm,
right up
20,
in Bordentown.
I'm 21. I could probably come out with you guys.
There we go.
I'll
guys
go right to the one in. I know people in Bordentown at that one.
I know
Yeah, me too.
I know people in South Philly
Well, why would you want to go to Philly and watch the fight? I can go 5 minutes from my house.
because I know the people in South Philly.
Frank,
in
it's
the
easy
South
to
Philly.
drive drunk when you're only 5 minutes away from your house. Come on, get with the program.
There's trains. I can take trains to get
Jesus.
to the
Trains.
yeah, planes, trains, and automobiles.
Oh, stop it, Rob. Mr. Povia. He says, none of the above, go Dak. I'm going to be like, that was not one of the options. There's a reason he's not on this list.
He doesn't have the upside.
Yes. He can't carry a team. I'm sorry that Cowboys fans, and Rob, I try to give you more credit than most Cowboys fans. You're just as delusional and cockroachy as the rest of them. Okay? I'm sorry that you guys can't realize this. Dak cannot carry a football team. He can't just put you on his back and carry you. It's not what he does. You know, Russell Wilson hasn't been able to do that at any point in Seattle.
Yeah, he has.
No, he hasn't. Russell Wilson he's constantly had the top defense in football. He's always had a running game. When they haven't had a running game, they've gone and found him a running
It's
game.
like Mark Sanchez when he was with the Jets for those 2 years.
No, I mean he's put up.
Yeah, Mark Sanchez. He had that great defense.
Yeah, but
Lost
but
two
Wilson
times in a row at the
Wilson's
AFC
put up better
Championship
numbers.
game.
Like Wilson's put up he's got the good numbers. That's respectable. But if you took all that away, you put Russell Wilson in a system where he's got to throw the ball 600 times a year and he doesn't have that defense, he's not the same player. Yeah, you can win with him. Yes, he's a franchise quarterback, but he's not as good as any of these guys that we talk about that carry a football team on their back. He's just not. Remember when people used to do that? Remember we had that argument with Andrew Kind a long time ago
Oh, God.
when he was about to produce After Hours.
Where's he?
He's irrelevant.
He's probably enjoying some soy sauce
He's
at the
living off of
Antoine.
the system.
Probably.
So he saw that. No.
He's living off the system. But,
Probably off of
he
his
tried to
book,
tell us
too,
that he was like a
so.
top 5 quarterback. Like, he's not a top 5
He's
quarterback.
Christ. Well, we'll see week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6.
Well, speaking of week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's run down this schedule now, Ralph.
Finally.
You tell me what you think.
All right. I'll pull mine up.
I'll get you there. Well, we got it right here.
I'll get mine own up.
You're going to get your own up?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we
get
need
your
2
own up.
schedules up?
Yeah.
What
I'll
is your
get
schedule
mine.
going to look different than mine?
Yeah, 100%.
Your schedule's going to look different?
Yeah.
Frank, what's your schedule look like?
Frank, pull
Any
your freaking
different than
schedule
ours?
up.
It's
Pull
a-
your
it's-
freaking
it's from
schedule up.
It's from Google.
Mine's from Google, too.
Yeah, mine's from
Oh.
Google, too.
So we don't have different schedules.
We all have 3
then.
Google schedules.
Jeez.
So we're at the Redskins week 1, Ralph.
Win!
A win. Oh, we finally break this Redskins curse?
Win!
We break the curse of the Kirk Cousins, and he, owns us at some point.
Frank, what was that, dude?
Win. Win.
At some point, right? I mean,
Win.
at some point, we're going to have to, like Kirk Cousins and Jay Gruden, I think they're 5-1 against us.
Yeah.
Like,
Jesus
since
Christ.
Jay Gruden took over as head coach, the Redskins are 5-1 against, 6-1 against, 5-1. Yeah.
5-1,
5-1 against us. That's crazy.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
That's got to come,
You
at
know,
some point,
the good has to come to an end.
like this
and,
kid, haven't they beat us 4 straight times or something?
Don't bring that up.
Kirk Cousins, he always plays so phenomenally against us. Derek Barnett rips his head off the first play of the game.
I
Derek-
hope
Derek
they all
Barnett
rip his
starts.
head off.
You think we win that game?
100%
Frank.
win that game.
I think they win.
God damn it. Now y'all are putting me in a situation where I got to say we lose that game.
No, you can say win,
You
dude.
can say win.
Ugh.
You know you
I
wanna
hate
win.
all of you.
It's win. All right, so Zach's 1-0, I'm 1-0, Frank's 1-0.
1-0.
No, listen, I will say this. The opening stretch of this schedule is tough.
Yeah.
These
It
first 2 weeks, if we start 0-2 at Washington, at Kansas City, we're in a major hole.
Well, I think the Kansas City game, I think we lose at Kansas City.
So we lose at Kansas City.
Lose in the Sea of Red.
Yeah. That place is loud.
It is loud.
It's a freaking it's
It
like
is
Seattle.
loud.
Seattle.
That place is I like that. I like Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah.
I like I like
Nice.
watching games there. It is.
So we all can agree on we lose week 2.
Yeah.
I think we probably go 1-1, whether or not we lose to the Redskins or the Chiefs. We go 1-1. I think we can all agree we go 1-1.
Right.
Yeah, 1-1.
Okay, we'll go 1-1 in those first 2 weeks.
Then we're home against the Giants week 3.
Home against the Giants week 3.
I say win.
Oh, this one's tough.
Ronald Darby, he'll be covering Odell Beckham all
Yeah.
game probably.
If he gets beat by Kenny Stills on a double move, I wonder what Odell's going to do.
Well,
to
listen,
him.
he locked down Odell his
He
rookie
did.
year, 2015. That's one of the big videos that's out there about his upside and how good of a cornerback he could be. Odell had 2 catches for 18 yards against him or something.
I say loss
We lose to the Giants.
at home. Yeah.
Oh, we're 1-0. Yeah, we lose to the Giants at home. Oh, that's
No.
that's not good. If that happens,
Oh,
1-2 for
people
me.
are going to want to fire Doug right away.
yeah.
1-2.
I got 2-1 right now.
We're going to beat the Giants, Frank,
Yes.
and then we go on the road to San Diego. What
That's a
happens there?
win.
It's a definite
That's a
win.
win, dude.
We beat San Diego.
No, we
Well,
beat Los Angeles.
Oh,
they're
Los
Los
Angeles.
now.
Oh, Los
we
Angeles.
beat the bricks off
In
Los
front of
Angeles.
is that game going to even be on TV? There might be 40,000 people there.
Yeah, it's
Well,
on Fox.
probably 30,000.
It's on Fox, bro.
Yeah, but
probably
if they don't sell it out, you could get blacked out.
yeah, well, in
say
San
that.
Diego,
It'll get blacked out in the Los Angeles market.
Don't say that.
We'll
We'll be able to get the game. They ain't gonna block it out in Philly. Come
No,
on,
we'll
dude.
get blacked out in the Los Angeles market.
Hey, I ain't in
I'm,
Los Angeles.
I'm
so
still not used to calling them the Los Angeles Chargers.
I don't think anybody is.
Like
We beat the bricks off of them. Dude.
Yeah.
Do we?
Yeah.
Anthony Lynn.
We
You
make-
like
we-
Anthony Lynn?
we make him regret moving to Los Angeles. So
Well, they had more fans out in San Diego than they do in Los Angeles.
yeah,
Pretty much.
What
And
was the
San
move?
Diego's a nicer city than Los
All
Angeles.
you had to do was rebuild a
I
stadium.
heard that in German
San
it
Diego
means
City
the
didn't wanna
whale's
rebuild it, though.
vagina.
Oh, my God.
What?
I heard that in the San Diego means in German a whale's vagina.
Oh, nice.
What? I can't quote Anchorman.
Okay, then.
Maybe that's why Phillip Rivers didn't want to leave.
Yeah, the Chargers pull out of a whale's vagina.
So we beat the Chargers, and what? That makes us what?
2-2.
Frank, you got us at 3-1.
I got 3-1.
Ralph's got us at 2-2.
And we come back home for Week 5 against the Cardinals, and we win.
We're
I
gonna
gotta win.
Beat the Cardinals.
Yeah.
See, that's always a tough game there. They got a great defense with Patrick Peterson. It's going to be a great matchup.
Well, we're home again.
Great
Patrick
running. They got a great
Peterson
running game.
versus the
Well,
the
don't
Honey
forget the last
Badger.
time we played against the Cardinals, they beat the bricks off of us
And
that
that was
Sunday
Chip
night.
Kelly's last game as an Eagles
Yeah.
coach.
Was that a Sunday night game?
That was a Sunday night game.
It was yep.
It was.
Because David Johnson broke freaking 17 tackles in
Yeah.
one run.
Yep.
Remember that. So I got us at 3-2.
It's going to be an entertaining matchup, especially like I did catch bits and pieces of the Cardinals preseason with Hassan Reddick and Robert Kimdichie. So I think they're going to be one of those factors going in how the Eagles are going to do their run game.
Is Kem Dichie, he's going to be a good NFL player, you think?
I think he's got some upside.
Lays off the weed
Oh, that's-
with his brother.
oh, stop it. This is college, Ralph. I know you've never been to college, but guess what? It's what people do in college. They smoke weed.
God damn it.
And if you're Carl Pelini, you snort some blow, too.
Yeah, and Laramie Tunsil. God damn it.
If you're Carl Pelini,
Jeez.
Carl Pelini, Bo Pelini's brother, was coaching at FAU and got fired because the athletic director found out him and the defensive coordinator was snorting cocaine in in the coach's office together.
I mean, if I was miserable coaching at FAU, I would totally
it's FAU.
snort
It's
it.
Boca Raton, ain't it?
Yeah.
How the hell can you be miserable in Boca Raton?
It's Florida Atlantic.
Now who's coaching there now?
I don't give a
Lane
damn.
Kiffin.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn if it's Florida piece of shit
International.
university. Like, it's Boca Raton.
Yeah. Week 6 Thursday night game against Carolina. I had that as a win.
I have it as a win as
See,
well.
that's a tough one. You go on the road to Carolina Thursday night, short week. That's a loss for me. You play Cardinals on Sunday. You haven't had a bye week yet. You go Redskins, Chiefs, Giants, Chargers, Cardinals, all back to back. And 3 of those first 5 games are on the road. And then you've got a short week after playing Sunday at 1 against the Cardinals. You go on the road Thursday night to Carolina. That's just a tough game for me. I think we lose that one.
I have us at 4-2 right now.
But then we follow it
I
up
have them at 5-1 right
with
now.
a long week, and we get
A home game.
the home game on Monday night against Washington.
And that's where we win to improve to 5-2.
See, I think we win that game. See, but that's
Break out
interesting
the
to me.
brooms, baby. They sweep Redskins.
But well, do they?
Frank's going all out this year.
Because see, that's how I said they go 1-1. But like that Redskins game opening game scares me. There's a lot of weapons they have to cover with this defense. Not quite like we're going to cover Terrell
Dude,
Pryor,
Pryor's
Jay
not
Crowder,
good, dude.
huh?
Terrell Pryor's not good.
Oh my God, here we go. Here we go.
Crowder has.
Crowder's not good. Jordan Reed isn't good.
Well, if Jordan Reed can stay healthy, maybe we don't even see him 2 games.
They have another receiver, don't they? Who's their third receiver?
Uh,
Their slot guy now.
Oh my God!
know
I
who
just
it
played
is.
somebody in Madden with the Redskins. Oh my God! I know who it is. It's their slot guy. It's Oh my goodness! It's Crowder, Pryor, and then they have another.
Dotson. It's Josh
Josh
Dotson.
Dotson.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Josh
That's who
Dotson
it is.
from TCU, and
Yeah.
he's a stud.
Yeah.
They got a lot of good playmakers on that team,
Yep.
and they always play well against us. Concerns me. It concerns me. But
And-
that's why I say I think we go 1-1 because if we lose that Redskins game, I think we go to Kansas City and we know now our backs are to the wall. You have to win that game. If you got like playoff expectations this year, we got to go win that Chiefs game. So I think we would win that Chiefs game. But if we beat the Redskins week 1, I'm not surprised. Now, I think it's probably more likely maybe we go to Kansas City and we lose a close game.
Yeah.
I think either way, that's a close game.
So then we come home week 8 we stay home week 8 for the 49ers.
For the hell of it, I'll just have us lose week 1 to the Redskins and beat the Chiefs.
All right.
So that way we can beat the Redskins on Monday night.
All right. Oh, well, I'm 5-2. I got the Eagles beating the bricks off of the 49ers too.
Yeah,
they smacked.
if
the
we beat the
49ers.
Redskins, I would have us at 5-2 as well.
That's 6. I'm at 6-2 right now.
Let me figure this out.
6-2. You're gonna be 7-1.
7-1.
That 49ers game.
Damn, Frank's going all out, dude.
Don't be surprised if that 49ers game is a game where, that's one of those games where you always got a game on the schedule you maybe shouldn't lose or you don't expect to lose, but you do. They might end up looking really good by that point in the year. End of October, they've got their feet underneath of them. I think they've got a great coaching staff out there. Shanahan's going to do a lot of good. They'll have a good running game. I know they don't have a quarterback yet.
Is Brian
I know they don't have a
Hoyer.
quarterback yet, but listen,
it does matter.
you always lose a game that you shouldn't lose. Circle that game as a game to watch where maybe you lose that game coming off of a Monday night game.
And everybody's going to get hot if we lose to the Niners.
Oh my
Are
God!
they?
Yeah.
Not if you only drop, if you still got a winning record, you're 5-3, you're in control of the division.
But it's
you're
the
fine.
49ers, but
Nobody's gonna get hot. There's always a game that you lose that you shouldn't. I mean, really,
I'm at 6-2 right now.
Listen, the 49ers might surprise some teams. People think they're gonna win 1 or 2 games. I don't think that's gonna be the case. People think, they're going to tank and get a quarterback next year. I don't think so. I think they'll make a run at Kirk Cousins or somebody like that.
They will make a run at Kirk Cousins. I think that's what's
They'll
probably
probably go 5-11 this year.
I mean, they're going to be bad along with the Rams, but
they're not going to be Jets bad or Rams bad.
But they're not Jets bad, though.
And listen, I think the Rams could be okay. The Rams aren't going to be.
I'll give the 49ers 5 wins.
If you heard Sean McVay, I went and listened to the soundbite of the practice that Sean McVay was running in Los Angeles with the Rams. Listen, this guy, he reminds me of John Gruden. High energy.
Oh yeah, he's a Chucky guy.
High energy. Always in your face at all times. One thing I still tell you, Jared Goff is a lost cause. He's sitting here and he's trying to motivate all these guys. Right? He brought Kevin Hart into their practice yesterday.
Yeah.
The Rams, they're going to be okay. They might win 4 or 5 games. We all know they're going to be bad, but I think they're going to be better than probably expected.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was breaking down a play that they were running in practice, and apparently, there was man coverage. When there's man coverage, obviously that can open up a seam in the defense for the quarterback to step up and run and get a first down.
Yeah.
Might open up a wide open hole in the line. You just run and get an easy first down if you're a quarterback. So that's apparently what happened in the play. But Jared Goff doesn't run with it. He tries to throw it. And McVay's like, no. He's like, hey, if it opens like that in the C's part, next time run with it. Run with it. And Goff's like, what do you mean? Run? He's like, run with it. He's like, what? He's like, use your legs. Run. Use your legs. He's like, oh, okay, I got you.
No way.
I'm like, dude, it's like, what? How dopey is this kid? He's like, what do you mean? Run? About extend the play? No. Use your legs, run through that hole, and go get a first down.
This dude's lost.
He's just, he's not. Yeah. He's not intelligent enough to.
Dude, that kid's
he's
lost.
not intelligent enough to play good. As I told people, don't look too much at a bit it's less to do with ability at the quarterback, and you could get away with limited ability if you've got an NFL head. Kirk Cousins is limited in some ways, right?
Yeah.
But the guy threw for 4,800 yards last year because he just gets it. He understands how to play, the quarterback position, and he's got just enough skill, just got just enough of an arm. He's just big enough, got just enough of an arm. All these, just accurate, all these things where, does he have the strongest arm? No, but it's just enough of an arm where he's just fine. He can fit balls into any of the windows he needs to fit them into. He can throw the ball down the field when he needs to. He's just big enough where, is he the biggest guy? No, he's 6'3" and 215, but it's just big enough where, he gets away with it. He's good. He's fine. He doesn't have to worry about it. Right? He's an example of a guy that's probably limited, but has obviously become one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, with even though he has some of those limitations.
Yeah.
Drew Brees had limitations in some way. He's a Hall of Famer because there's more that goes into it than just the natural ability. Drew Brees is super accurate, always has been.
Yeah.
You know,
And
always.
sure, I did not know about that. I gotta watch
All
that
right.
video then.
Christian Hackenberg can't break a goddamn huddle correctly. He's got a lot of arm skill, got a lot of throwing ability. Christian Hackenberg always has. Can't even break a huddle correctly. Not go play in the NFL. Sorry, like that's Goff. Just to me is a kid that just does not get it.
Yep.
He's just not smart enough to play the quarterback position.
All right, back to the Eagles' schedule.
Back to the schedule.
Yeah. So what me and
nine-
you had him at 5-2. Frank, you had him at what 6-1. I'm not counting the 49ers game yet.
Frank's at 7-1 with
Not
the
counting the 49ers game.
7-1 with the 49ers.
With the 49ers game, we beat the Bricks.
You have
off
them
the
at 6-2 with the 49ers game. See, for shits and giggles, all of us go lose that 49ers game,
All right.
and that's so I have them at 5-3.
Then week 9 we stay home against Denver. I have them losing that game.
We stay home against Denver, and I'll have us bounce back with a win there.
I'm going to say a loss, but
Trevor Simeon's not beating us.
That defense might.
The defense might, but
But
it all depends on how he play against Trevor Simeon.
Trevor Simeon's going to get like his teeth knocked down his throat in that game.
I could see this as a toss-up, but right now I think the Broncos.
21-14, we win that football game.
I'm going to give the slight nod to the Broncos.
What about the Broncos makes you think we can't beat them? Why are we so scared of their defense? Like we don't have weapons.
I mean, we have weapons.
Like,
but
is Talib going to just shut down Alshon Jeffrey? Alshon Jeffrey, like, there's no cornerback that can just take him out of a game.
I mean, you also have Von Miller. You also have
They've got Von Miller. DeMarcus Ware isn't there no more.
Marcus Ware's gone. I know that.
Sean Ray or whatever the hell his name is
Shane
an average
Ray.
player. Shane Ray, he's an average player. So they got Von Miller. Okay. That's one guy. Okay, yeah, he might give us some headaches. I trust Wentz has got
Shane's injured again.
Wentz has got great pocket presence, great pocket awareness. We talked about this earlier in the show. He can step up. His ability to know when to step up in the pocket, that is stuff you can't teach.
Like last night when he was almost getting sacked and
he stepped up on that long
touchdown.
touchdown throw.
He
That
did.
long touchdown throw down the field. He stepped up in the pocket, gave himself a little bit more time, made the throw. He did the same thing on the throw in the Packers game. The touchdown throw to Matt Collins.
Yeah.
Making Clay Matthews Smith and then stepping up in the pocket and making the throw. Yeah, I think the Broncos come here. I think we could beat the Broncos. That's back-to-back teams coming here from the West Coast. Denver has to come here from the West Coast.
Right.
Let's see. Let's look at their schedule. Denver, who do they play before they play us?
All depends on who they do.
We'd have to look at who they play. But I'll have us winning that game, so I'm at 6. Do you have us losing? So
Yeah, I'm at 6-3.
I have us at 6. We're all at
I'm
6-3.
I'm at
You have us
7-2.
losing, so that's 7-2.
I'm at 7-2.
See, they're not
Then
going
we have a
7-2
bye
out the
week.
blocks.
We have a bye week, week 10.
Right.
Then we come back. Well, we go to Dallas week 11 for a Sunday night game.
Correct.
I have us losing that game.
I have it as a loss at Jerry World.
Yep. So I'm at 6-4 right now. Frank's at 7-3.
Wait, is this the complete schedule?
Yeah.
So when's the second time that we play the Cowboys? I don't have.
The first.
It's because you don't.
I don't have the January
Yeah.
1st schedule.
It cuts it off for some
Oh.
reason.
Jesus.
Yep.
So we play that Cowboys the final week of the year again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last
That
game
Sunday
on.
night game in Dallas.
Yeah, I have us losing. I'm at 6-4 right now.
See, that's a tough game. Yeah, I'll probably have us losing that one too. It's Elliott's going to be back at that point. It's a tough game. That's going. That's a close game. I think we lose that one.
All right. Then week 12 against
So
the
wait,
Bears.
so you'd put them at 6-4,
Yeah.
and I'd have them at 6-4.
Yep.
And Frank, you have us
7-3.
losing that game.
Yeah.
So losing back to back against the Broncos and the Cowboys to start November. That's not good.
Then we play week 12 against the Bears, and that's another game that's an easy walk for
That's
us.
a win.
That's a win.
See, that would have been the other game on the schedule I would have circled. I would have had the 49ers, the Bears, and the Rams game. You circle 3 of them and say we're losing one of those 3 games. Because we're not, you look at it and say we should win all 3, but that's the reason why we'd lose one of those 3. So between the 49ers, the Bears, and the Rams, I think we lose one of those 3. I have us losing the 49ers game.
So I'm at 7-4 right now.
So, yeah, we beat the Bears. I have us
I'm
at
at
7-4.
8-3.
7-4.
Then we go to Seattle. Now, here's a really important stretch.
And that's a loss for us.
That's a loss.
I'm at 7-4.
against
To
the 12th
at
man.
Seattle, that's a loss.
Yeah, 7-5.
8:30 Sunday night.
100 a Sunday night
It's a
game too.
loss.
A Sunday night game in Seattle Oh, man.
That's a loss.
You might as well just don't even go.
See, this is where it gets interesting.
Seriously, you might as well not
See,
even
this
go.
is what that makes that Rams game kind of interesting is
Do they stay out there on the West Coast? Or they
you
come
might.
home?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
they
might stay
stay.
out there. But if you were to beat the Seahawks, that Rams game all of a sudden looks like, that could be a letdown game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Staying out there, having to be on the West Coast again.
Yeah, I have us at 7-5 right now. I lost to the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday night.
What did I
You have us losing that game?
I have
So
them
that's
lo-
8-4.
8-4.
All right, I'll have us win that game.
Okay.
Wait, so hold on. Well, I'm getting.
I'm 7-5.
Yeah, 1, 2,
8-4.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
7-5.
Win, 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 win. So I got 1, 2, 3,
You're 8-4, dude.
4. I'm 8-4.
Yeah. I'm 7-5.
If I have us
You're
beating the
8-4.
Seahawks, I have us at 8-4.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Because I'm 7-5.
Yeah.
And
I'm
then we
8-4.
go, and then we stay on the West Coast, Week 14 against the Rams. That's a win for me.
Give me a win in the Coliseum.
Yeah, we win that football game.
Yep.
They just, like I said, the 49ers to me have, a better team than they're going to have a running game at least this year, I think, the 49ers. You know what I mean? The Rams have Gurley,
Yeah.
but they have nothing outside of that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, they don't have a lot of weapons, Kenny Britt left and stuff like that.
I'm at 8-4.
So, yeah, I think we win that game.
Then we come home. Oh, no. Then we go to the East Coast again.
We go to the Giants, and we'll lose that game.
I have us
I'll take a loss to the Meadowlands.
winning that game to make us 9-5. 9-5.
So we're both at 9-5.
Yep. Yet again.
I'll have us losing to the Raiders on
Yep.
Monday night,
That's make us 9-6.
and then I'll have us beating the Cowboys.
Same thing with me.
And
I
I'll
have
go
us
10-6.
Yeah, I'm going 10
That's what I'm
and 6.
Bottom
thinking
line
as
for me
well.
is I had us at 10-6.
I have 10-6.
That's my expectations is for us to win 10 games and be a playoff team.
Well, we better win 10 games with this goddamn team.
I think if we win 10 games, I think the Cowboys probably win 10 games.
I think the Cowboys will win 8.
Once Ezekiel Elliott's back, their start is going to determine a lot for them.
I mean, with that 6, if it stands at 6 games, I mean, I think the Cowboys are going to go 2-4 in that stretch. With the 2 obvious wins, going to be, I think they're facing the Rams and what's the other one? The 49ers. I think those are going to be guaranteed wins right there. So 2-4.
I still think the Cowboys win 9 or 10 games, and so that game, that final game of the year is going to be a big. You beat the Cowboys, you win the East.
yeah.
You know.
I think the last game of the season might come down to whoever wins the division.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you'd win the East. Now, this be interesting because I'd have us at 1. I guess I have us at 2 division. No, I have us at 3 division losses technically. I guess if I'm going to go with this and say that game decides the East, I'd have to have us beating the Redskins and losing to the Chiefs, because then I'd have us losing once to the Cowboys and once to the Giants, which makes us 6-2 in the division or whatever it is.
That would be impressive.
4-2 in the division.
4-2 in the division.
4-2 in the division, and you would have to hope that if you had a tie record or something like that with the Cowboys, and we're both 4-2 in the division, or the Cowboys are 3-3, something like that. Cowboys have to lose inside the division this year, unlike last year.
They have to lose more than 3 times.
But if we both win 10 games, there's a chance we both make the playoffs. So
it is possible.
And then play in the wild card like we did that one.
And then you also got to factor in the tiebreakers, because if the Giants finish 10-6, if somebody goes 10-6 in our division or in the conference, then tiebreakers,
Well, I'll tell you
and we
this.
could go 10-6 and not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
It can happen.
Well, I'll tell you this: we'll see Zeke. We'll be having Zeke 2 times too, so we don't catch a break there. So it's gonna be tough. Those
I'm not
2
worried about
Cowboys
Zeke.
teams.
You got
I'm
Zeke,
not
whatever.
worried.
I'll shut down Dak. You know what I mean? All right, so limit Dak. Put Dak in a box and make him beat you. So if Ezekiel Elliott runs for 100 yards
we
on
should have
you.
won last year there.
Yeah.
But thanks, Doug.
if
for
Elliott
running that
runs-
bubble
if-
screen.
If Elliott runs for 100 yards on you, okay, good for him. He
Yeah.
ran for 100 yards on you. It's I'm okay with that as long as Dak, as long as you don't let Dak go 20 for 25 on you or something like he did too often last year.
Yeah.
You get in his face. I think guys like Barnett, and Timmy Jernigan and guys like this are going to be, they're going to be difference makers this year. And then, Jordan Hicks is he's going to take a step forward and be one of the best linebackers in football. So, I think, and then Darby's going to help a lot. You can blitz a lot more this year with Darby at cornerback. And being able to blitz and put pressure on a quarterback is going to be a big thing. We couldn't do that last year. Schwartz couldn't be as aggressive. Yeah, he couldn't be aggressive like that because our corners our secondary wasn't good enough. And you got beat too often. Mm-hmm. This year I think you're going to see more of it. Although this schedule, I would like for us to get an easier schedule at some point. There's back-to-back years we've had a pretty difficult schedule.
We'll see what our team's made of, though.
Yeah.
We could be the Cowboys, and Carson Wentz could be suspended for 6 games or something. So
Don't say that.
Don't say that.
Alshon could fail another drug test.
Stop.
Or Lane could take
Stop.
amino acids
Stop
again.
it.
Why you gotta be like this?
Stop torturing us. Stop.
You're tortured over there, Frank?
Yes.
You're a very tortured soul, aren't you?
I am.
It has nothing to do with me. You're not tortured because of me. You're tortured because you're just a tortured soul to begin with.
I don't even know.
God,
You had a rough childhood.
Rough child.
Who did things to you growing up? Who
don't
touched
know.
you?
Maybe that's why Frank doesn't like to be next to closets.
I know.
What now?
Who touched you? Who made your life hell? Who touched you emotionally? They emotionally and physically abused you.
I'll tell you who.
Christ.
Was this
The
your mother?
goddamn
I've always
Sasquatch.
expected your mother to be an abuser.
Stop. Just stop.
Your mother beat you, didn't she?
No, she didn't.
Your mother is an abuser. She probably beats your dad, too.
No.
Now I know why he behaves himself so well around her.
No.
Jesus.
He's
Zach.
afraid of her.
Stop.
I've seen them in Vegas. He's afraid of her.
No, he's not. Just don't fear the wrath of Christine.
He's got an Uncle Vito and an aunt. His uncle and his aunt. Well, it's not really your aunt. It's just your mom's best friend, right?
Yes.
You would think
your
that they were
mom's best
married.
friend.
His mom's best friend and his Uncle Vito, you would think that they're married, the chemistry that they have.
Really?
Yeah, apparently they've both been married before.
They've been married before.
What, both been married twice or something?
My Uncle Vito's been married 3 times.
Oh, of course.
And then my aunt
Has been married twice.
twice.
See? I swear, I sat across from them from dinner for like a whole hour just assuming they were married because I was like, oh, look at these two. They seem like a married couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just assumed for a whole hour that they were married.
Yeah.
Well, guess
And then
what?
only to
They're
find
not.
out
They're not.
very awkwardly that they weren't.
What you asked?
But you asked.
Didn't you?
It
Well,
was
like no,
asked.
they were acting like and I was like Jesus. I was like I can see like why you two are married or whatever. And even she was like, oh my God, like no, we're not married. Like she corrected him on his drink order. He complained. Uncle Vito complained to the waiter about why his drink wasn't what he thought it should be, and she's over here like what wives do. Wives is, it's not the way you said it. It's not the way you thought it was going to be because that's not what you actually ordered. What you actually ordered. I know what you ordered. No, I heard what you ordered. No, that's not what you said. I know what you ordered.
Yeah.
I heard it. So I'm just sitting here like, oh, these two must be married. Like, look at this. Like any man would naturally assume these two, they seem married. And they were like, no, we're not married. I was like, damn, y'all might as well be. Like, God damn. Like, he can't even order a drink without you, like, getting all up in his business about, why his drink wasn't what it was supposed to be. That's what married couples do. How many times has your, like, dad ordered something at a restaurant and then your mom was like, are you sure you want to order that?
No.
I thought you
it's actually not with. No, it's actually not with at restaurants, but it's usually like if the server screws up the order, and my mother is like, well, this isn't right. It's like oh, well, and if nothing happens, like this is why I bring up the words "the wrath of Christine." She will embarrass you by going on this rant against the servers, the kitchen, the whole 9 yards.
And your dad doesn't do anything to stop her, right?
We just like
Exactly.
No.
Because
Step back. Step back and watch the storm.
Because if your
Just
dad
watch it
tried to
happen.
stop her, he's going to feel the wrath of Christine
Oh,
when
yeah.
they get home.
and I regretted it one time
He's going to be coming
Where
to work the next day with a black eye and shit.
where I witnessed the wrath of Christine at a
And
restaurant.
she beat your dad?
No,
Oh.
she freaking went off
She
on
beat
me
you?
afterwards. No, she went off on me afterwards.
She went off. She took that belt off and went off on you.
And that's where he is.
See, that's why he's emotionally fragile.
All right.
because Christine beat him after this time. Christine
never
beat him with a belt after this trip to this restaurant.
The Italian
And now he's
restaurant.
emotionally fragile because
Yeah.
Christine beat him.
No, she did not beat me. She did not beat me.
She beat you.
She did not.
You got beat.
She did not.
You can't lie to me. Christine
not.
is an abuser. She
Christine-
abuses everybody.
Christine does not abuse.
She accused me of being in jail. She's an abusive person.
She does that with everyone.
So she just assumes everybody's a criminal?
Just to mess with people. She's like, it's like Zach. Zach's like in prison. You have to visit him during visitation hours. I'm like, no.
Interesting.
Yeah. She does. She comes up with something stupid.
She's an abusive person.
She's not.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not.
Yes.
She's mean.
She is mean.
She's not
She's
mean.
evil. Evil Hungarian
Christine-
woman. Isn't she Hungarian?
She's part Hungarian.
Part Hungarian?
I don't even know what she is, to be honest.
That's bootleg Italian. If you're Hungarian,
she has
you're
Hungarian.
like Italians have their own traditions and stuff.
Yes.
Hungarians do the same shit.
Yeah.
Like Hungarian kobas
Yeah.
and stuffed cabbage. Like, Italians in the way, like, their cultures is like Hungarians do the same thing.
I can't eat stuffed cabbage. I can't.
You're a fraud, Frank.
I can't eat
You're
it.
a fraudulent person.
I just don't like the smell of boiled cabbage stuffed with ham. I just don't like that smell.
As opposed to some of the food that y'all Italians be cooking.
Yeah, we love our galamad and
It's at least it tastes
Yeah,
good.
You can't eat
tastes great.
Hungarian goulash.
I like goulash.
Oh,
I've had goulash. I liked it.
You eat, like, Brussels sprouts.
I hate Brussels sprouts.
Man.
I hate Brussels sprouts.
Liar.
I hate them. I do not like Brussels sprouts.
Frank doesn't like anything.
Frank's a
I love
curmudgeon.
everything.
Frank's a curmudgeon.
Frank's that type of guy where if he goes to a new restaurant, you know what he orders? Chicken fingers and fries.
I'm the exact opposite though. I'm
Really?
not picky.
He gets beef stroganoff.
I'm not picky at all. Like there's some things that'll get like at Italian restaurants. I usually get veal parm because I love veal parm so much.
Of course you do. That's such a weird order to get at a restaurant.
What?
If I'm an
Who
Italian
orders
restaurant,
veal at a restaurant?
Me.
You're weird.
Me, damn it.
Now I see why you're so fat.
you gotta go chicken Alfredo.
Exactly.
I love chicken Alfredo.
Have to.
Manicotti, baked ziti, lasagna.
Baked ziti.
Love baked ziti.
Got to go to Olive Garden where they give you the free bread, the
All right,
rolls, the breadsticks or
I don't
whatever
like
it is.
Olive Garden, but I love the salad and breadsticks.
You don't like Olive Garden?
I don't really care for it anymore.
Fraudulent. You're a fraudulent human being.
Take us a freaking break.
Let's
Oh
go to
my
break,
God.
Because we're
On
getting
that
crunched
note-
on time.
On
so.
that note, you're killing me. Not liking Olive Garden.
I don't
When
like
you're here,
Olive.
your family. See, that's how you don't like it.
I mean, I used to go to it, but I just don't really care for it
They treat you
anymore.
too much like family, Frank. Reminds you too much of home.
Not really. It's
Get
not-
emotionally unstable while you're at the Olive Garden too.
No, absolutely.
I've actually
not.
met the guy that does the voices in those commercials.
Me too.
Olive Garden. When you're here,
Yeah,
your
your
family.
Everybody requested that when
I've met
we
him.
Yeah.
Yes. The Rundown, A2DRadio.com. Not brought to you by Olive Garden, but instead brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, certified public accountants at 301 Oxford Valley Road, 215-369-3300. Also brought to you by Liberty Event Reynolds, East Cambria Street in Philadelphia, 2154 East Cambria Street, 267-314-7368, LibertyEventReynolds.com. Rhys Hoskins, the Phillies savior. We're going to talk about him when we come back. He's the only reason to watch Phillies baseball at the moment. Got me excited. We're going to talk about it when we come back. This is The Rundown, A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
This is the Rundown, A2DRadio.com. So we're going to talk a little bit of Rhys Hoskins and the Phillies in the final 5 minutes or so of the show, Frank. But before we move to that, just wanted to mention real quick, you brought up, I know a few weeks back, you mentioned a C.J. Beathard.
C.J. Beathard of Iowa.
Yes, I knew he went to Iowa. I thought it was pronounced Beathard.
It's Beathard.
It sounds better. Beathard should be Beathard.
Or Beathard.
Of course it should be. There was an article written about how he could be the starting quarterback for the 49ers.
I heard about that.
To start the year. And I know while he was at Iowa, there was some people, specifically guys like Todd McShay and guys like that, who liked him a lot and thought, hey, look, he could be a sneaky prospect in the NFL draft. Got a good enough arm and all that. But, yeah, I read that he apparently is impressive enough out there where Kyle Shanahan and that offensive staff has thought about starting him.
Yeah, I mean, it is possible that Beathard could start. I know they're going to start, obviously, play Brian Hoyer and everybody's favorite Eagles quarterback, Matt Barkley. Yeah, I think they're going to start the season with Hoyer, and then obviously if Hoyer doesn't work out, then they're going to start phasing in C.J. Beathard. But, I'm not ready to just don't sleep on him yet. So got to go with hopefully Beathard can get a chance to take some snaps in the NFL.
I'm so tired of watching Brian Hoyer play.
Aren't we all?
Although he did take the Texans to the playoffs, so, Hey, good for him. There was a tweet by one of our guys, Tommy P. He says, not Tommy A, Tommy P. He claims he's Mr. Pennington.
Okay.
Chad Pennington?
No.
Okay.
Mr. Pennington. I'm assuming maybe that's like the Mr. Pennington. Yeah, Mr. Team Schwag, I'm sure. Yeah, Tommy Pennington. Okay, so you're Team Pennington, or whatever the hell you call it, Mr. Pennington, Team Schwag. Gotcha. Well, he claims that Rhys Hoskins can baseball. That's his tweet. Rhys Hoskins can baseball. And I think
At least there's excitement
as Phillies
for
fans
now.
we have now learned this, yes, over the first 15 games of this guy's career. Indeed, Rhys Hoskins can baseball.
Yeah.
And he can baseball very well. He can baseball better than anybody on this current
8
roster.
home runs.
He has been unreal, and he has got, like, naturally, like, gifted power from the right side of the plate.
Dude,
when was the last time we had a right-handed, like, Burrell was probably the last time we had. Jason Worth maybe was the last time we had right-handed pop like this in our lineup.
That curveball he put in that upper deck, man. Oh, my
He takes advantage of
goodness.
mistakes. That breaking ball was a hanger, but that's what
Yeah.
you're supposed to do with a hanger, deposit it into the upper deck. But it's finally exciting to watch baseball. I've been watching Phillies for 2 reasons as of late. I've been watching it for Rhys Hoskins and for Giancarlo Stanton, because it seems like every time we play the damn Marlins, Giancarlo Stanton is doing something, superhuman. Hit another home run yesterday against us. This guy's got 14 home runs in the month of August.
We should have traded for him, but whatever.
14 home runs in the month of August. He's got 47 on the year. This dude's going to hit 55 homers this year. The month of August isn't even over yet.
I think we got a couple more days to go before August is done. Whole another week. He can do it, dude.
He's just having an unreal second half. And this is like kind of the season that I guess everybody thought, like, if he could just stay healthy a full year, this type of year he could put together.
And he did.
Is he the NL MVP?
Oh, 100%.
I mean, who else should be the MVP if it's not Giancarlo Stanton? Who's the National League MVP?
Yeah, I'll give it to Stanton.
I mean, there's multiple choices out in the American League. You got Carlos Correa and guys like that.
Yeah.
I think Carrera can make a run for the AL MVP.
The American League MVP, I think it's Correa's or Altuve's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see anybody competing with Stan.
He's hitting 285 this year with the 47 home runs.
It's still good, dude.
Yeah, I mean, is it MVP worthy, though? Who would be the National League MVP candidates if it wasn't for him?
Look it up.
We know it's not anybody on the Phillies roster, but I think
really?
I think of Mr. Rhys Hoskins, he could be you're talking about a future MVP candidate. And then once J.P. Crawford gets up here, we're talking about playing him at third base. That could be bye-bye Mr. Franco. You do have Nolan Arenado. You do have Paul Goldschmidt. Arenado might be the MVP just because of all the way around. Look what he does defensively.
Oh, he's smooth, man. He's smooth fielding the ball.
Goldschmidt's had a big year for Arizona.
Yeah.
Jake Lamb and Goldschmidt in the middle of that lineup have been they've been pretty damn good.
Arizona's been a flop.
There's people that say they want Cody Bellinger for MVP. Cody Bellinger's not the MVP.
He's going to get, like, Rookie of the Year.
Yes, he's the Rookie of the Year. He's not the MVP. But think about the future for this baseball team now. Got Hoskins. Crawford will be a part. Crawford all of a sudden is tearing the cover off the ball. He's figured things out. It seems like something just clicked with him all of a sudden.
Yeah.
He's going to be a part of this future, it would seem like. Nick Williams has been tearing the cover off the ball. He'll be a part of this future. Aaron Nola's figured it out this year. He's going to be a part of that rotation. Might have a future back into the bullpen guy in Velasquez. If you ever make the switch with Vince Velasquez, all of a sudden it's exciting to think about what the future of this baseball team could be. Mickey Moniak, I think, is going to be a player on this team. Shut up. I know that you want to sit here and talk your shit. Mickey Moniak. Go watch him in Lakewood. Guy's a legit player. He could be a Christian Yelich type in the years to come. You like Yelich too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
I still think we should have gotten Yelich and Stanton.
Oh, man, I would have done the deal.
Yep.
I would have done the deal.
Me too.
Oh, man, in this ballpark, Stanton is just scary. So exciting. Pair him with Hoskins in the middle of the lineup. Oh, my God. Thoughts for next week. This is the Rundown. A2DRadio.com. Been brought to you by BMW of Atlantic City as usual. Minutes off of exit 37 of the Parkway and easy to get to. BMW of Atlantic City. Go to BMWofAtlanticCity.com. For Zach Burr, Ralph Delavecchio, Frank Vespi, thank you for tuning in. Everybody, until next week.